it's like now
Whenever you want to go.
You know what, Randy? You do one, and then
I'll
yeah, this is okay. So this
and then
is
we
a great
can
way
we
to
can
start.
we can splice it if we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'd say welcome, and then Jordan say back to the, and then I
we
come
can
jump back
all
in.
go around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like
Oh, we should
story
do that. We should
time.
do that.
I love sociables.
All right. Ready? Welcome.
2
The
Junk
monkey.
podcast.
monkeys.
There's multiple.
There's
of us.
so many different monkeys.
Right, a couple.
It's fun. Yeah, welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast. I'm Randy McLeod, joined by Michael Gertzen to my left.
Hello.
And we have a special guest on today, Jordan McLeod.
What's up?
My actual sister.
We're not related.
Ah, fuck. Damn it. I need one sibling on the show, please.
You got another. Try with Riley.
Yeah, you're right. We are episode 7 today.
Wow.
Wow. We're almost at 100 views on our first video. Bump those numbers up, fellas.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty
And
good.
ladies.
And ladies,
Yeah,
please.
And other.
This
And
is
other.
an inclusive space.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And what other thing do I have to get out of the way? Spotify. If you want to go on Spotify, they have this little rating thing. You just put 5 stars. You just give us 5 stars.
5 stars.
5. That's all I want. I want metrics.
Please.
Please.
It's
We'll
not
pay you.
asking a lot.
Please. I need this.
We'll shout you out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a fan club.
Oh, we should.
We
No.
should definitely do a Patreon.
Nobody's paying for our show.
Someone would pay.
Our family.
Yeah.
Mom probably would.
Yeah, Mom definitely
Yeah.
would.
Family would definitely pay.
Yeah. Mom sponsors you. She can sponsor me sometime.
Hey. She gave a big shout out for you.
She did.
On her
That's a great
Instagram.
point. That's a
great point.
That's a
Nice.
lucrative
We got a lot
deal.
of. She put it on Facebook too. So
No
like
one cares about Facebook.
Sarah McLeod and her
She's
friends,
got some friends.
love Facebook.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
She didn't actually listen to it. I was listening to it. And she's like, I'll shout him out.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna
No.
expose her right now.
No, she said she listened to the whole thing.
She listened to some of it.
Oh,
Just the parts where
exposed
like
on the air.
Spider-Man.
wow.
Sarah, if you hear this,
Sarah.
we're disappointed.
You have a great smile.
We need the viewership. Today's topic today's topic today is going to be travel. We're going to talk about some travel stories.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun. The three of us have done some extensive traveling. Jordan the most, I think, but Mike the farthest. I'm
Oh,
fairly
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Super far.
I wouldn't call myself a globetrotter.
I would.
Okay,
You're great at basketball.
that's not what it means.
You're Harlem Globetrotter, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to start with something very important, like a very important question.
All right.
What is the best type of transportation? All right, so we got like.
Mike was like, this was the worst question.
No, this is very important, hard hitting to podcasting.
All right.
All right, so you got your options. You got your cars. You got your trains.
Say it like you
Yeah,
wanted
no,
to.
please say it like
Say
that. It sounds good.
You got your planes, your trains, your automobiles,
There we go.
and you also have boats.
But
Bets.
Bats. Jordan, I want to start with you. What is your favorite form of transportation and why?
Planes, easily.
Why?
Okay.
I didn't know there was going to be a follow-up.
Well, not trains. We've had a bit of a fallout with trains.
Yeah.
I've never been. Well, I've been on a train.
Yeah, the Prairie Dog Express.
That was lit.
the what now?
In Winnipeg, there's like this train that you can just hop on. We were
We
very
did it for
young
our cousin's
child.
birthday.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It's like goes around to different like market stalls.
It was like one of those things that you're like, I don't remember that actually happened or if that was a dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like since you and I seem to remember it, I
It
think we're
matches
good.
up. Yeah.
No.
The only train I remember in Winnipeg is the candy train.
Oh
Am I?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog at the Forks.
It was like a
Oh, that you
convenience
can
store.
buy stuff. Yeah. They have
Yeah.
something like that in Granville.
Yeah, you can
too.
buy candy. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That makes
That's
sense.
the stuff
This is adding
on the
up.
candy
Yeah.
train.
Do you guys remember the train in the Children's Museum in Winnipeg?
No.
There's a train there.
Is there a train?
Yeah, and you can like, it's like an old train.
There's a children's museum?
You don't know about the Children's Museum?
My parents didn't.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude, in
Mike.
Winnipeg.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh my god.
Mita.
No, it was a lot of fun when I was a kid. They got like shit like
It
it's
was
very
cool.
creative and inventive and shit like
Oh, was that science place?
Kinda.
With like the mirror room and like the. Am I crazy?
Maybe all I remember is a train.
All I remember is that thing where like you put your hand on it and it makes an imprint with your hand.
I
like
went
those
there.
Stupid
We're
plastic.
good.
You went?
I went
Okay,
there.
yeah.
Okay, good.
We're
You put your face
Like,
in
don't
it.
have a
and
childhood.
Everybody's kid put their face in it, so it's just definitely snot all over it.
COVID would not. It wouldn't
Yeah,
sit with
I don't
COVID well.
know how they're doing. You know, or maybe that exhibit is just closed.
Maybe.
So planes.
Planes. Love
Not
'em.
trains.
Not trains. I just don't have the patience for a train, I don't think. Maybe
Really?
when I'm old and
Can't
have
move
the time
anymore.
to do it.
Yeah.
But I can't sit for long. I
Right.
love a good 1 hour flight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything longer than that, I
Well-
get restless.
With longer flights, though, you can watch an entire movie.
I'm not big for movies. I'm really bad at prepping for plane rides.
Okay.
I'll get on the plane and I'm like, really got nothing to do, hey?
Really?
Yeah, I'm really bad for it. I won't download any Netflix. Usually when we travel for school, like I'll have my books and stuff. But so I'll usually study. But when I come home for Christmas, I'm like, I got nothing to do.
Well, why don't you just use like the in-screen or the in-seat thing? Like you can go and pick a movie on the thing.
Sometimes like Vancouver flight. Well, Vancouver to Calgary usually will have it, but Calgary to or Brandon, nothing.
Do not have
That
it.
is the
Really?
bare
Yeah.
minimum.
Oof.
Coming back from New Zealand, I had to do Calgary to Winnipeg. And the
Yeah.
only thing that was worthwhile is it was very late at night,
Yep.
and the Northern Lights were out.
Oh,
That would
So
be
it was
so
so
cool.
sick.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So it was very nice. A
Yeah,
very
you had
nice
something to
welcome
watch.
home. Mhm.
Yeah.
I went on a pretty bare bones flight when I was coming back from Penhold, Alberta.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was like the name of the flight plane, like brand was like True North Flights or something like that. It was dog.
It was probably just like a private charter.
Yeah.
Because it was cadets.
Yeah, I think so.
But
But they had nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like the Calgary to Brandon flight is literally like coach is like an extra 5 centimeters of leg room. That's it.
Oh.
And maybe like a water bottle instead of a cup.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. You're like, I paid an extra.
$80 for this?
I don't even know what it is, but yeah, planes for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy flying.
You like how quick it is?
Yeah, and it's just like a decent experience.
Yeah.
You know, fun to be in there.
In the air.
In the air.
Mike, what's your favorite?
I have
the paper.
What did I write
You need the
down?
paper too.
I went in depth because I knew this was going to be the first question.
Well, you did say a 1,200 word essay. So.
Yeah. so I
you
need-
didn't bring that up yet.
No,
It's
so-
also in haiku, so that's going to be at the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I need your essay by
yeah,
the end of this
you're-
podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same thing with Jordan. Planes are just efficient.
That's
Yeah.
Like
That's
if
true.
you want to get to A to B as fast as possible, you gotta go planes.
Okay.
The only issue I have with planes is it's like a public, so there's so many people there, and there's definitely advantages to other things other than planes. Like trains, never been on one. Can't see myself being on one. Who would want to be on a
Super inefficient.
yeah
Inefficient.
There you go.
inefficient and it's lame. Changed my mind.
Trains are
I'm
like
gonna-
You're like
I'm gonna change your mind. I'm going for the trains,
you're
boys.
60-year-old soul, but
Yeah.
I really am.
I think it'd be great if you're old.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Sure.
yeah, so
you
you
call
can
me
die
old?
on a train. You got like a year to live, and you're gonna spend half of it on a train.
Dude,
Yeah.
if I had the chance to go from Manitoba to BC on a train.
You can't. Coca-Cola's out. No,
What?
just kidding.
How,
Lots of flooding.
Ah, right.
how long would that take?
It would.
It's a while.
It takes like a day.
Dad keeps
or
trying to get
two.
me to do it when I come home at Christmas.
I think it'd be fun.
I'm like, I would spend half of my Christmas break on a train.
I think it'd be
No.
fun.
Not for me.
If I have a cabin to myself on a train.
I've heard though you actually don't have a lot of space.
No?
No, it's kind of like a plane. Like you just get your seat. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I feel like it wouldn't be the same setup as like a plane where you got 3 seats beside each other.
No,
and somebody
but-
gets the window seat. You know.
apparently it's cramped.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I guess they have to be efficient and put as many people on there as you can.
But
But
they wouldn't sell out. I like not that many.
nobody
people
takes the
travel
train.
by the train.
No, I don't know if
You're
like,
also like last priority. Like any freight train that comes along, you have to get over for those. Like
true. There is a lot of delays on trains.
yeah,
Sometimes there's delays on planes.
yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I will give you that.
Yep. You've experienced this.
But you can have more than one plane in there. There's lots of room.
There's a lot of room up there.
And then you got to stay in airports longer if there's delays. Which
That is my only thing
yeah.
about planes that I love.
You
is
like
the airport.
airports?
I love airports.
Really?
Oh my god. Like the Toronto airport, so nice.
I
And,
hate
like,
Toronto Airport. Don't
You don't
talk
like
to
Toronto
me.
airport?
It's so insane.
Why?
Well, when we came back from Kingston, we flew to Toronto, and we get there, and it's just like instantly like holy, like so many people.
Yeah.
And we stood in security for probably like an hour
My lord.
and a half. It was a lot of people.
Was this before COVID?
No, this was this year.
Oh, this
For
was-
nationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
I actually didn't finish my point.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh,
please
sorry,
keep
Mike,
going.
But
please.
I love
No,
the
it's
You
fine.
have the notes. You didn't notice your
yeah.
place.
You have the
So my favorite is actually automobiles.
Really?
Oh.
There's
Alright.
something about
And I
Driving is nice.
Yeah, two people. You can't be by yourself, first of all.
No, definitely.
No, that sucks.
No.
But like, if you have two people, like probably your most bonding moments ever
True. You
are
can talk about anything in a car.
automobiles, right?
Totally. That's true.
Because that's when you're like truly alone with that
Yeah.
person.
And no one will know.
Yeah.
You can talk about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Think about all the things you guys have talked about, and no one else knows about
That's true.
in cars,
That's a great
Probably.
point. Yeah.
right?
But by yourself isn't bad either. I like driving by myself.
I used to love it because like driving from Brandon to Winnipeg a lot.
Yeah.
I'd knock out so many podcasts.
Throw on a podcast.
Yep.
Or
Or
listen.
I'd throw in my CDs because I love my CDs.
I love the radio,
Mhm.
to be honest. So
You're an old soul as well.
I am.
I use the radio app on my phone.
Ah,
Yeah.
I heart radio.
Yeah. No.
Download it now.
Please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us.
Put us on your network,
Please.
please. So cars over automobiles.
I
over
would love to
planes.
drive across
Yeah.
Canada.
Me too.
Same.
I just need a car that feels good doing it.
Yeah, not
know?
when you're like not sure if this is gonna make it.
Yeah, I need it to be in a reliable ass car if I'm going to be going that far. You know,
I would love to be in that point in my life where I have a reliable car.
wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Do you wish you had a car in Vancouver?
I do.
Yeah?
When I'm away from home, I miss driving so much.
Hmm.
And it's also just convenient. But there's lots of ways to get around otherwise.
Well, that's my thing about what I love. Okay, this is turning into transportation rather than travel, but like
traveling.
I'm with it for a while.
Yeah.
When I went to BC, I loved the
Yeah.
public transportation.
Yeah,
like
they got it figured out.
they got the kind of like a subway,
monorail.
right? The monorail,
Sky train.
Skyrail.
Yeah.
They got buses. They got like
They got buses.
oh my god, but they have good buses. You
Yeah,
know, like
it's
they have
alright.
buses that come by every 5 seconds. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can actually get everywhere in the city by them.
Yeah. We also have like Evo and
What?
Moto or something like that, which is just a car share.
Oh, okay.
Which is so I don't have an account, but my friends do, and we'll do it all the time. And you just like use your phone, unlock it. Like you find one, unlock it, and then you just
You find one. What,
Dry-
you need a map? Or?
no, like there's like Evo stalls and stuff all around the
Okay.
city, and then you just can drive it wherever, and it's like whatever 30 cents in a
Okay.
minute or something. I don't even know, but probably better than paying for parking and
Yeah.
insurance and whatnot.
That's true.
Was that the end of your point, Mike? Or
I could talk forever, but no, that was
Okay.
about it.
okay.
Cars.
Cars. You can't have a better bonding experience than in a car.
That's a good point.
Yeah. that's a
Unless
good
you're on a
point.
train, baby. Let's go trains.
You talked to Gladys for the last half an hour of her life, or what?
Yeah, Gladys. My
So
girl.
how are the funeral arrangements, Gladys?
I do enjoy talking to people on planes. Talking
Yeah,
to
you are
strangers.
you are a chatty person on planes.
I don't know what comes out of me because I'm not a chatty person in general, but
Right.
I just love get a bit of a life story.
Mhm.
Met a guy, an orchestra constructor. Oh.
He built the orchestra.
He builds orchestras.
You mean a conductor?
Conductor.
Ah.
Yeah. Sorry, not a big train person, but
I got a question. Did you ask him about the hand thing? Is that like just random, or is that like a
No,
like
it's something
I
random.
didn't.
It is not random.
it's not random.
No.
It's
It's just to keep the time.
yeah.
Like they
I feel
instead of
like, you know,
everybody
the-
fucking like tapping their heels or whatever to keep the tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also taxi drivers. Love talking to taxi drivers.
Oh, I hate.
I
don't
hate
like
taxi
it.
drivers.
I don't hate the people.
Oh.
Like they're grinded,
They are.
but
It's a tough industry.
it is.
I have only had bad taxi drivers. So.
Really?
Yeah.
That's-
One guy talked about how he hated Uber drivers and how
They're on
they
my
They're
business.
stink.
destroying my business.
Yeah, and he would just point them out. He'd just be like, "That's an Uber driver." How do you know?
He looks in the rearview mirror. You look like an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And he was very racist.
Oh no.
That's
So it was
terrible.
awful.
Yeah.
So it was like a half an hour taxi drive to.
I also had a racist taxi
nightclub.
driver one
Yeah.
time.
It's the worst because
Yeah.
you can't just like stop them.
Yeah.
because they're getting you to
driving
where you
you.
need
They're
to
driving
go.
you.
yeah.
So you
can't-
agree.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And
you're
then
just,
after
like,
you get out of the
passively like,
vehicle,
oh,
you're like,
yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, yeah,
That's the worst.
yeah.
Yeah, I had that one. I was coming back from, I think I was at the 40 after walking to there from Houston's. And then we got a cab. We dropped off my buddy first. And then he started just going off on a tangent about just very racist things. I was like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But at the same time, I was very drunk. So I was like, uh-huh. Sure. Yeah.
They get you.
That's how they get you. They know.
Yeah.
Where were we? What were we talking about?
Just like common
Planes,
Oh,
trains,
public
and
transportation.
automobiles.
Yeah.
Planes, trains.
Yeah. No, Vancouver's fucking dope.
It is.
Like,
I have a story
please.
for Vancouver, but we'll save it for later. 'Cause
Okay,
I
cool.
think there might be a story section.
Oh, we're not
Perfect.
getting there.
We're-
We're staying
we're
on,
getting
Yeah,
there.
on
it's been
taxis
like,
for
what,
the
10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really want to go on the train, so until I actually go on it and actually experience it,
We'll come back to it.
I won't give my vote for it today.
So what's your final answer?
I think cars. I think
Really?
I definitely
You guys
like
are gonna
I don't like
team up here.
planes. Anytime I'm
Yeah,
on a
you're
plane,
not a flyer. Never been a flyer.
I've never been a flyer. I've thrown up multiple times.
That's so funny
It's
because
not, I
you're
hate
that's
it.
because you're part of the air cadets, and that's like
Yeah, that was
He did
something
not
I
do
wanted
well.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went to Disney World when I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
Randy threw up. I don't know how many times getting there.
Okay, so 4 flights total.
Oh,
So
yeah.
2 there, 2 back. Threw up once on the first flight. Threw up again on the second flight. And then we go to Disney World. We have a good time. We're in Disney World, you know? It's great.
Okay, yeah.
And then third flight, no throw up. I was like, wow, that must have been like a fluke.
Like,
Or
I'm
Oh,
good
no.
now. I
a
got this.
flu bug.
figured
Everything
out.
is fine.
Thinks it's a flu.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Back
Carry
then,
on.
it wasn't a big deal. Now,
Don't want to be that guy.
no, topical. And then fourth flight, all of a sudden, Randy's just hucking chunks all over the
I
place.
knew that was
Yep.
it.
Terrible. Like,
Jordan,
it was a late flight, too. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sitting in between Riley and Randy, and
Yep.
I don't know what happened with Riley, but he
Riley never throws up on
also
a plane.
decided to fucking throw up. I'm sitting in between them. I wake up from a nap. Just covered in puke.
Yep. I think on the
Mom and Dad are like sitting by themselves somewhere else, like,
yeah, they're like, thank
Not
God I
my
don't have to
kids.
deal with that.
Was the food that bad?
Like, no, I just threw up. I just don't like the turbulence of an airplane. That's why I'm not voting for planes. Side story, kind of disgusting. But on the second flight, when I threw up, I threw it into the bag, right? But it was pretty early into the flight, so they were still walking around with their little trays or whatever, blocking the aisles. So I'm like waiting for it to get over there, go over to me so I can throw up my puke bag. And all of a sudden, I just feel... No, sorry, this was the last flight.
Okay.
Because I feel like this thing going down my leg. I was like, no. And the bag, I guess, had just, like, leaked onto me.
oh my God.
And I was like, ma'am, I need
Press
a
this button.
garbage. Yeah.
No.
So we get home after... This fourth flight, huge delay. Like, it took a long time for us to get on this plane. We are tired. We get to Winnipeg... And instead of, like, finding a hotel or something, Dad's like, we're driving home
No,
tonight.
of course.
And I was like, all right, fair enough. So Riley and I smelling like fucking puke in the back seat.
In the
and-
Envoy.
In the Envoy. And everybody, like, is just dead tired. Everybody's quiet. And all you can smell is my throw up. And it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
On the topic of throw up.
Please.
So this
I
summer...
really want to talk more about it.
Oh, good.
Put this in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
So this summer I worked at the airport in Bourdain.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a super fun experience. Not big planes, little planes.
Right.
Cessnas and Cherokees and
Oh,
whatnot.
you know your stuff.
Yeah.
She loves planes.
Loves.
She's just playing it off.
Just yeah. So it was like near the end of the summer, and I was talking all summer to one of the instructors. I was like, "You need to take me up flying," and he's like, "All right." So one day it was kind of quiet, so he's like, "Yeah, let's go fly," and I was like, "Stalls and spins, we're doing that." Like I just had
You
to
wanna do
experience
that.
that, you know.
Okay.
I was super excited about it. We get up in the plane, and
For our listeners who don't know what a stall is.
okay, I'll walk you through it. So, if anyone knows anything about flying, please do not judge me. But, anyways,
So you
so
can't see your hand motions.
oh, shoot, you guys need to get the video going. Essentially, you're flying straight, and then you pitch the nose up until
What the fuck is a pitch the nose up?
Well, I mean, you just pull
pitch
the nose
is
you can't do it without
so
your hand.
the nose gets pointed towards the sky.
There you go.
exactly
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
to the point where there's not enough airflow and the engine stalls.
Yep.
And then you get a stall horn in a Cessna, and it's the worst sound. Like I have PTSD from it now, and just like goes off.
Yep.
And then yeah, so the engine's off, and then just there's like a lot of different spins you can do, but you just kind of go like this, and you try to recover.
Oh, yeah.
it.
Yeah.
For all our listeners.
Yeah, I just love that. Yeah, you
You're
go
like
like this.
slightly inverted, I guess is
Yeah,
the
there you go.
word.
There you go.
And then you try to get out of the spin and you get back into it and fly. Engine comes back on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good description of it, but
Yes. It's not bad.
it's not bad. So I'm up with Jay, the instructor, and we're doing a couple of these, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And he does like 5 or 6. And like by the second one, I was like, it's cool. It feels just like a roller coaster. And then I'm like, I don't really like roller coasters.
I learned that about myself today.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to tell him to stop because I'm tough. So
Right, definitely.
yeah.
You'll never live it down.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So then he finally stops and we're just flying. And, you know, when you like are going to throw up and you're trying so hard not to throw up and you get that like jerk reflex.
Yep.
So I do that and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, just not feeling the best. And he's like, oh, okay. So he gives me a puke bag. I throw up for like 5 minutes straight.
Oh.
All oatmeal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the oats.
And then of course like, it was like another like 15 minutes till we got on the ground and I was so done. I literally went and laid on the bathroom floor for at least 15 minutes. My boss was like, you can go home. And I was like,
No, I'm tough.
I'm going to work. So
I'm getting paid to lie on the bathroom floor. I'm not going home. Absolutely not. Fuck that.
It's nice
Exactly.
and cold.
it was nice.
Oof.
It was,
That's the worst thing too. Like you throw up and then there's no end in sight for a little while. Like
Exactly.
you're not on the ground soon enough. Have you thrown up on an airplane, Mike?
Never.
No?
No, I actually really agree with planes. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah. Lucky
He's a
for you.
flyer.
Sucks though.
He's a
Yeah,
flyer.
I'm a flyer.
Have you been stalled before?
Yeah.
No,
Huh?
I would. That'd
I
be
thought
cool.
I was a flyer too until then.
I like roller coasters, so.
I remember that was the thing where like Jordan had never been on a plane. I might have been up with Dad maybe one time.
Yeah.
Because Father Shane flies.
Oh yeah, Father
Father Shane,
Shane,
the
Brother
pilot.
Riley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're pilots. I said that one time to like people at school or whatever. I'm like, yeah, my dad like is learning to become a pilot. He's like, wow, you're going for a career change? I'm like, no, he's just learning how to fly.
Just for
like,
fun.
Yeah, he's not going to become a commercial pilot.
Yeah. That's right.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So before we went to Disney World, we were like freaking Jordan out. We were like, oh man, it's gonna be like Mayday. Like you can't watch that or whatever on the plane. It's like really scary. You're gonna have a terrible time. And then Jordan was perfectly fine, and I had the worst time imaginable.
It was awesome.
I hate it.
That's what you get for trying to hype it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to take Gravol after that, like just as a placebo effect to be like, I better be okay for this flight, you know. So I'm gonna take as much as I can.
How much did you take? Because there's definitely a certain amount you
limit
should
that
not
you
take.
especially when you're like 50 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I took 2. It's fine.
Excuse me, he's been 150 pounds for 4 years.
For 4 years.
It's a stat that I like to remind everybody about.
Yeah. Very important feature of Randy.
Mm-hmm.
His metabolism does not let him grow or straight.
I'm gonna be fucking 70 years old and still 150 pounds.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's kind of the trade-off with planes, though. It's like I hate flying, love airports, and
You can just go to the airport.
well,
Not
that's-
now.
No, but like
Not
when-
now with COVID, but
Right.
like, I know people that like would go and study at the airport.
what?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
They have shit food, like
Yeah.
yeah, they overcharge you for a piece
lot
of
of stuff.
bread and a
Oh,
melted
fuck,
piece of
remember that?
cheese.
Oh my god.
We went to Vancouver Airport, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? Because I just flown in. And she's like, hey, you want to get some food? And I was like, yeah, I'd love some food. So we go to this one place for this little breakfast place.
They spent all their money on their sign because it looked great.
Oh, yeah. Very great marketing. Or, like, very great advertising. But we go in, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get the breakfast. What was it?
It was like a breakfast
It
sandwich.
was basically a breakfast sandwich.
Nothing too complicated.
Nope.
No, apparently it wasn't very complicated.
They did the
because
bare
it was
minimum.
just 2 pieces of white toast. Not even toast, just bread. Was there egg on it?
Yeah, it was like no sauce in it. It was just like a microwaved egg, like
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
and then a piece of cheese. And it was
And I'm talking like hardly cheese. Like this is like your orange
bare
ass,
minimum.
like cheddar, but like it's greasy as hell. You can see it on there.
I can
$13.50.
imagine.
It was $13.50 for this one sandwich, dog.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
We should pivot to travel stories.
We should.
Because every time you say something, I have so many
Oh,
good
please,
stories.
you got a story? Go ahead.
Yeah, we were also in Vancouver Airport,
Mm-hmm.
but this was when COVID just hit, so we're coming back from New Zealand.
Right.
Oh, what? No, maybe it was Auckland because I was still with Noah at that point. Yeah, it would have been Auckland.
When you hit Vancouver?
No, because I went to Canada without Noah, which is another story.
Yeah,
but
we'll get there.
we'll get there. There was no convenience store open, or no food, no nothing.
In Vancouver? Or no, in Auckland.
Auckland, yeah.
Right.
Because everything was closed.
Right.
Yeah.
Except one place. So there was like trying to find food, water, something before the flight.
Please.
There's like 50 people just circled around this little
Yeah.
tiny booth. And it's just like a circle grill.
Yep.
And like they couldn't have enough egg salad sandwiches to supply all of us. And the egg salad sandwiches were like $12.
Ugh.
Oh.
We spent like $50 on like 2 sandwiches.
But that's the thing, you have
A
no choice.
smoothie.
So they can't
Yeah.
charge you
Yeah.
that much.
Actually, no other choice.
Yeah.
Like, was not another choice.
That's terrible.
It was awful.
That's why I always hit up the Tim Hortons in every. Well, I guess Auckland wouldn't
No,
have.
That's
Tim
Aston
Hortons, New Zealand.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the first thing I did
Oh,
when I hit
wow.
Vancouver, though.
Tim Hortons.
Directly to Tim's
Yeah.
for
I'm home.
sausage farmer's wrap.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
Large double-double.
Absolutely.
Whew.
So good.
Welcome to Canada.
I was home.
I was home.
Yeah.
Mike, tell me about New Zealand. Like, what was the travel experience like that?
It was good there. The one thing I didn't know is going one way is longer than the other because of the rotation of the Earth, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah, because it's such a long flight. It's like an extra hour one way.
That is so cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
sense, but that's so cool. Or
So-
I
is
think-
it another hour, or is it just based on like time zones?
Well,
No.
any flight that you have, like, it'll be different one way versus the other.
Yeah, because
Even small ones. It's just a smaller difference, I think.
I'm not a geologist
Not
or
my
an
degree.
earthologist.
I'm somewhat of a scientist
Yeah,
myself.
I just barely passed geography in high school, like 51%. I'm
Nice.
proud of it.
Well done.
It's not bad.
I
Pass
think
the
she
time.
just liked me. I think I got by
Yeah.
because she liked me.
Right.
But which way does the Earth rotate? Opposite way is the sun, east to west, west to east,
What is...
I'm
Final
pretty
answer.
sure. I'm pretty sure it's east to west.
east to west.
Yeah, because I'm pretty
'Cause-
sure it's like
What makes you say
Britain
that?
to Canada. Right?
Which
like
way?
that.
When you're in Vancouver, are you behind or ahead in time?
She's behind.
Behind. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then that would mean
I have no idea.
I don't know what that means.
What?
I have no idea.
So if you take where the sun is.
No, it should be the Earth should go west to east because I think the sun rises
If
east to west.
only we
Am I
had-
crazy?
If only we had some sort of internet machine.
All right, final answer.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going west to east.
Keep talking about your New Zealand
Going
thing while I
north
look
to
this
south.
up.
It's north to south. So, anyways, I think it would be faster to go like towards Vancouver than to go to the East Coast, right? Just because
I think east to west is faster.
It
because
says
like if
counterclockwise.
That-
Okay.
this way, like
I can't fathom this.
Its rotation direction is prograde, or west to east,
West.
which appears counterclockwise when viewed from the North Pole. Wow.
I am in school.
Look at you.
Wow.
52% now.
Yeah, 52%.
Not bad.
Yeah, so it would be faster to go west than it would be to go east. Like when you went to St. FX, you
Yeah.
would be with the
I've been traveling
rotation,
with
right?
the Earth.
Yeah, so it would take you longer
Interesting.
to get that way then.
It takes you
a
longer to get over
genius.
to BC.
Than
No,
it does
it
when I
would-
come home.
No, it would take shorter time because it'd be against the rotation.
Oh, so it would take me longer. Okay, you're making sense. I'm learning things on this podcast.
Yeah,
and I hope
I'm
you
just
are too.
I'm just spitting
This is
random
education.
garbage. I don't know anything. Where
You were talking about New Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh.
the flight there.
Flight
the
there.
flight there?
How long was it?
Yeah, that's
14 and a half hours.
Damn.
You got like 3 meals.
That's not
Wow.
bad, actually.
All just
14 hours?
New Zealand is literally the other side of the
It's
earth.
I was literally 200 kilometers from the other side of the world.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think the farthest away was Perth in Australia,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is a little bit far away.
Did you ever at any point like feel sketched out while you were flying? Like you're over an entire ocean. You know?
No,
And those planes are so big, that, like
Yeah.
they're way better than
Yeah.
And you get meals. Hey, you got meals? Yeah.
3 or 4, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
Breakfast or supper, breakfast, lunch, supper.
Are they any good?
They're okay.
Yeah.
They
They're
were.
definitely edible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good.
They're just as good as airport food. Like, I got ice cream one time on the way back from Ireland.
Jordan, we just railed on airport food. So it's probably bad.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Okay.
Noah
Yeah.
liked it a lot more than me, but Noah has poor taste in food.
Ooh. Say that while he's on here, Mike.
I will. He will listen to this, and he'll listen and
Be like, hey,
yeah.
I want to come on the podcast and clear the record.
Yeah, I want to say.
I have good food taste. No, it's pretty good. Other than the fact that they I'm pretty sure I heard this somewhere. but they shove Imodium into your food so you don't shit on the plane, right?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
I'm
remember...
not mad about it.
Yeah,
No, I understand the reasoning.
They can drug me.
Bro, like, we don't need that extra mass on there, you know?
Well, I mean,
true. It's still
still
on there.
there.
It's in you. It's,
Yeah, I know,
just
but
not
like...
sloshing around,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
you were.
interesting.
I
Whether or
don't
not
know.
that's true or not, it's hard to say.
I mean, it was a 14-hour
Only we had
flight.
some sort of
and I
internet machine.
didn't have to use the washroom once, so other than to pee, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a drug that can stop you from having to use the number one.
I don't know.
Know which way the rotation of the Earth is. Don't remember which one is which. One or two.
Imodium? Is that the word?
Imodium. We had to
I
use it
think that's
after
what-
the flight, too, because we were shitting bricks for 2 weeks.
Oh, Lord.
It is so hard to get your nutrition right while flying. It
Yeah.
just fucks with you.
It's impossible.
And you literally drink like so much and you're still so dehydrated.
I started bringing vitamin gummies on the flight back.
That's smart. Yeah.
Big help.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it didn't help with, like, calorie-wise, but
No, but you like felt better.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was also a bad flight home, so.
What was the flight home like?
That's a big story.
Mm-hmm.
It was start of COVID, so it was the first time you wore a mask ever.
So, now,
Right.
back it up even further. Okay, so where were you when you started hearing about COVID and you were like, oh, this is getting serious?
Oh, you want the full story?
Yeah,
Let's,
please.
let's dive into COVID.
Yeah. Give me the story.
Okay. So the first time COVID affected us at all was we just finished our work at the farms. So we were going to go on a bus tour, which takes, if you don't know New Zealand, there's 2 islands that make up New Zealand. The South Island and the North Island. Pretty simple. So we were living on the very bottom tip, or south tip of the South Island. So we were going to take a bus tour from the south all the way to the north tip. And then that's where Auckland is, the main city, and then go from there all the way home, because that's the main airport.
Right.
We get to Queenstown, which is where our bus tour starts. Get into our hostel, get settled, and then while we were there, the people that were with us in the hostel said that the bus tour is canceled.
Oh.
So we had to call my boss, Paul. Love Paul.
Love ball.
My God.
And he had to drive 2 hours back to pick us up to go back home, and then we had to figure out our flights. So it took 2 weeks to pick up another flight.
Oh wow.
Then we went from Invercargill to another place, I think Wellington to Auckland. So that's 2 flights. And then we stayed the night in Auckland, which was nice. Get to the airport, wait 8 hours for our flight,
Oof.
and then I had a flu.
No.
So his nose was stiffly, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me on the plane.
Yep.
So then they thought I had COVID. So then I went all the way to their COVID hotel. So we wait around at the airport.
You and Noah both.
Yeah, Noah got on the plane.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
he
Noah
wasn't
left.
sick.
Yeah.
So
it
I
was you
al-
that got stuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alone. So I wait around. A police officer comes and picks me up,
Wow.
brings me down. They test me. They're like, "This guy doesn't have COVID,"
This guy.
and they're like,
He's got
"So
the
sorry."
sniffles.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm supposed to go to Canada. I'm not supposed to be here."
Let me go home.
You're just like, and wow. Okay, carry on.
And then police officer, carries me, brings me out towards my bus.
Carries me.
Yeah, carries
He doesn't have
me.
COVID. He's good.
Yeah,
but
he's fine.
Can't walk.
Very nice guy. Really
Yeah.
like this police officer.
Good.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
Nice people.
Nice people.
nice people. Get on the bus by myself. Only person on a city bus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Super weird.
That's spooky.
Yeah, bus driver tried to make conversation.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
No.
Get to this 5-star hotel. Everybody's in like hazmat suits
Jesus.
when you walk in.
Yeah.
And it's
People
like,
were freaked
yeah,
out.
especially in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because they're crazy.
They're not
Well,
crazy.
they did great
Yeah.
with COVID.
They did wonderful.
They did not overreact at all. They
Nope.
killed it.
They're also on an island, so it's like it's
Yeah, we'll
really
give them
easy
that.
to
Yeah.
restrict people from coming in and out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Canada's
shut
a bit
everything down.
different
A
because
little bit.
such
Yeah.
a big place.
Yeah.
And then 5-star hotel, really nice.
Not bad.
It was really nice.
It probably like sucked at the time, but it's one of those stories that you're like, that really sucked, but you say it with like a smile on your face, you know,
Yeah.
because it was like whatever.
It wasn't that bad. At the end, it was a little stressful because then I had
Yeah.
to get like a doctor's note, basically.
Yeah.
So the doctor, like the entire, like the COVID, like the main head COVID guy, Patrick Chan, that was his name,
Great guy.
wrote me
Follow him on Twitter.
a paper note on the back of some random form, like the back of a document, saying that I could get on a plane.
He's good.
Attach like $5 to it. It's like, Mike can go home.
And then finally the airport. I go back to the airport. $80 taxi. Oof.
That's
rough.
fucked.
We get there. We're sitting in line. I give them this scribbled piece of paper in red pen.
I'm good.
They look at it. They bring the manager over. They look at me. They look at the paper and they let me in. So thank God.
Oh
They
man.
should put a contact info on the piece of paper. Just be like, if
They
you have
did?
any questions, please call.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah. It was amazing.
And then you were smooth sailing.
Then
from
pretty
there.
much smooth sailing. Yeah.
Not bad.
Good.
And then you probably had to isolate for 2 weeks when you got home.
Yeah, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, I got home to Winnipeg at 1. Got home from Winnipeg at 3:30. They bought me a bunch of beers, so me and Brad crushed like 8 beers each.
Yep.
Nice.
Went to bed at 4.
Yep.
No, like 5. Played a whole bunch of beer pong, just got shittered as soon as I got home. And then we woke up and 2 weeks, easy.
Not bad.
We were in the basement.
At least you had Brad too. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I was gonna say.
Well, he wasn't thinking of isolating, but he's like,
I'll
he
take 2
wanted to
weeks
come
off.
anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was mostly that story. I'm sure there's little nuances, but that was so long ago that it's hard to remember everything.
It's crazy.
That was only 2 years
How
ago, man.
long- Well,
2 years ago.
that's a long time though.
That's it.
We're still
Duh.
in it.
Help.
Oh no.
The microphone did not work. Stay.
Russ.
Sit.
Ross.
Randy, did COVID when it happened? What was your experience?
Well, I mean, like, I was home,
Yeah.
thankfully, because like, I went to Vancouver.
Just
in-
before.
Did we go February or was it March?
It was reading break end of February, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So like end of February 2020,
Yeah.
and I was like, I went to Vancouver. I had a great time. You know, like I was on a plane with a bunch of people. I was on a bunch of buses. At some point, I couldn't get off the bus because there were so many people on there.
That's the
Like-
thing though, COVID was probably swirling around at that time.
Yeah.
Just swirling around.
It wasn't like
Yeah.
widespread in Canada yet, but like it was there.
Yeah,
probably.
no, for sure. Yeah, well.
But like I didn't even know about it. You know, like
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal.
And then Manitoba was so not very affected at the start.
Oh, definitely not.
It was like so fine for like a long time, so
Yep.
that was nice.
Well, I mean, like what was different about Manitoba was like I kept hearing about everybody else's experiences and like businesses shutting down and people weren't able to do anything and like even in Manitoba, all of a sudden like things were getting shut down. We were the only places that was open and
Yeah.
everybody was coming to PV Mart because like there was nowhere else to shop. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, I
Right.
guess you weren't there.
Peavy Mart should sponsor us.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Beef?
Hey, God, come on,
Come on.
guy.
Yeah,
Mr.
actually, you
Peavy?
should look into that.
Mr. Peavy.
No. But yeah, I mean, like, it was so weird, you know? Like, 1 month before
Yeah.
COVID actually hit, I was just traveling. I was having a good time with a
I know.
bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were actually really lucky that when you did come to Vancouver, that everything was fine because we got like it was a pretty cool week.
Yeah.
We got to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was good.
Didn't you drag Randy up a mountain?
I
Two.
did too.
2 mountains.
2 mountains.
The one
mountains.
was pretty easy. The chief he struggled with. He
No.
struggled with both.
Both were quite difficult. No. One of them was not easy.
I would say it wasn't Grouse Grind, but it was beside Grouse Grind because Grouse Grind was closed because it was like too early in the season. Like it was
Right.
there's still too much snow.
So, sorry, to back it up, in Vancouver, there's like this mountain called the Grouse Mountain, which
Yeah.
has a ski resort at the top or whatever. And there's a trail on there called the Grouse Grind.
It's like a classic. Like everyone does it.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's a
You
staple.
go to Vancouver, you're like, I'm gonna do the Grouse Grind.
Yeah, and you know, there's T-shirts at the top. It's like I did the Grouse Grind or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we get there after like hours of buses.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so bad at buses.
oh my god, we fucked up many times. Like we
We like we'd be like walking towards the bus, and, like our GPS was telling us to be on this one, and it was like the number 9 or something like
Mm. Yeah.
that. And then we'd see like the number 9 on the other side of the street. And we're
that's
like,
the thing.
oh, that's the number 9. We gotta run and go get on that
Oh.
bus, and then we'd go the wrong direction.
At one point, we had to like look at each other and be like, "I think we're going the wrong way," and we'd have to get off and find a new bus to go back to where we were. And it's just, I
Everything
do
took
that
so
all the
long.
time. Like I did that in Winnipeg one time, where I went home from college for lunch or whatever, and then I got on the bus. I was like, "Fuck, man, this bus is taking a while to get back to school," and I was like an hour and a half late for my class because I got on the bus that was going the wrong direction.
Yeah,
I was like,
we're not much for traveling.
nah, we're from the little town of Rivers.
Rivers,
We don't
Manitoba.
have buses.
The only thing I can imagine with you guys doing that is you remember the SpongeBob episode
The
where
one
he's
down-
in like where he's like down in is it rock bottom?
Rock
I think
bottom.
it's rock bottom, and
Yep.
he's like trying to get a vending machine,
bus one,
and the bus
yeah.
like rolls up and he puts the
Yeah.
vending machine, and then he like runs over and it drives away. That's what I managed.
Pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did the Chief, which is
Well, we did the Chief
such
first.
a good hike.
Oh my god, it was my favorite.
Yeah.
It was so good. It's a mountain. Like you go to this tiny little town, like this little village,
Squamish.
Squamish. And yeah, it's a weird name,
I
right?
wouldn't say it's like a village.
No?
It's not tiny. It's kind of like
pretty big.
it's
Or it's
smaller
pretty
than
small.
Brandon, but
Yeah.
you know.
It has stuff like it has your modern stuff like Tim Hortons and stuff.
Ah, yes, the
But-
modern.
Yeah, modern.
It's a civilized town.
Very.
Society lives here.
Yeah.
There's a Tim's. It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Rivers doesn't have a Tim's, Jordan. Is it civilized?
Nope.
Gladstone has a Tim's
What?
Really?
for all of our. Yeah, I don't know who goes there, but it's got one.
Well, no, you don't drive through Gladstone to get to Winnipeg, do you?
No, you don't drive through Gladstone for anything
Right.
No.
except to see their statue.
Which
Yeah,
one?
Happy
What do they
Rock.
have?
Happy Rock.
Oh,
Because
right.
it's Gladstone.
Gay pepper.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, grouse grind or not grouse grind. The Chief was fantastic.
Yeah, very
Like
cool.
it was a tough, like practically vertical at some
Easy.
points. Like my thighs were burning.
Oh yeah.
It was a light walk.
Shut up. Well, that was weird because I traveled to Nova Scotia a few months earlier, and I went to Cape Breton, and they have very nice trails, which are more like nature walks.
Yes.
You know, like you're going for a nice walk through nature. You're seeing the trees. There's a waterfall at the end. You're like, wow, this was really nice.
What a good hike.
What a very gradual incline.
So then,
Nah,
come to Vancouver. I'm like, let's go for a hike. Randy's like, yeah.
yeah, man. Like you told me to get ready for this, so I definitely went on the treadmill twice before we came.
You're
and
right.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally though, like that week was, I was like,
The
by
most
the end of the
intense.
week, like the Friday, I slept for like, I had a fat nap.
Yeah.
But like, cause I was waking up at like 5:45 to go
Mm-hmm.
to the gym and lift.
While I was still sleeping.
While Randy was still sleeping, and then I'd come back and we'd leave at like 8:39,
Yep.
and then go do like a hike or whatever we would do. Yeah,
It was fun.
it was.
That's the thing. Like, I'm so glad I did it, even though it was so like exhausting.
Well, you gotta have a fun trip. You gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make the most of it.
And we got good food. That's the thing, Mike. What kind of food? Like, what was your highlights of food when you travel? Like, you've been to New Zealand.
Yeah. Food?
What's
Yeah.
the food like in New Zealand?
Oh,
Yeah?
blue cod was the best fish
Oh.
I've ever had.
Ooh.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's only like a southern hemisphere thing, but it's like the best fish I've ever had.
Damn.
I don't even know how to explain it.
Was it fried or was it like cooked?
Deep fried.
Ooh.
And it cost just as much as a steak.
Ooh.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Damn.
And like, it'd be like you sit down and there'd be like lamb shanks and like T-bone steaks and like deep fried blue cod.
Yeah.
And everybody at the table would be like, yeah, I'll just get the blue cod.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Wow.
Wow.
And they don't
That's
even do
something
anything
else.
crazy with it.
It's just fish.
Yeah. Like we went to one restaurant and Noah got the lamb instead. And I got the blue cod and he's eating and he's like, yeah, this is good, but I'd rather have
not blue
the
cod.
shitty deep fried
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lamb is good though. I had lamb in Ireland. Like it's not big here. Like I have never had lamb. in my
Whoa,
life.
Jordan, you've been to Ireland? Why
Whoa.
don't you tell us about it?
Subtle drop.
Yeah, I've been to Ireland.
Yeah, no big deal.
Well, I mean, like, because of rugby, you've had experiences in many different places. Like,
Yeah.
you've traveled the most
I'll
out
talk
of
about
all of us.
Bermuda first because that happened.
Oh, please.
during
Oh,
COVID, and we were
Bermuda.
just
Why
talking
not talk about
Oh, yeah.
that, too? You know?
We
like,
were just talking about COVID.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
after you left, when you came to Vancouver,
Yeah.
it was a similar time frame.
So around March.
And that's when like COVID started like poking and like
Yeah, it was definitely poking.
It was just poking.
Yeah.
you like see it on Instagram, some like funny like jokes about it, and like people are talking about it at school, and I'm like, I literally like was talking to my friends. I'm like, I'm actually annoyed. Like people need to stop talking about COVID. It's gonna be like 3 weeks, and then we're never gonna hear about it again.
Uh-huh.
That's the phase where everybody called it the coronavirus.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
The coronavirus.
Novel
yeah, it was not
coronavirus.
The
COVID at that time.
coronavirus.
That's crazy.
You know when like this is so bad, but like you know when Ebola was a thing in school and like everyone made jokes about Ebola,
Yeah.
but it like didn't
Yeah.
affect us. It affected like Africa and stuff.
Yeah.
But because of that, it was like 3 weeks. You like joke about Ebola. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna
I
get
got Ebola.
Yeah. But then it went away.
Yeah.
I was like, "COVID's just Ebola. It's gonna go away."
Uh-huh.
Anyways, here we are.
2 years.
Here we are.
I've never been more wrong.
Yeah.
But we were going to Bermuda for sevens and
In rugby.
rugby sevens.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah. And so we had this trip planned. It was like lots of sevens teams from around the world were going to it, and we hop on the plane, go over to Bermuda, which actually isn't too bad of a flight. Like,
Is that straight from Vancouver?
No, we went to, I think, Toronto.
Okay.
So we flew Vancouver to Toronto, which I hate that flight. It's very like, it's just like I don't like being on a plane for like that stretch of time.
Loves planes.
Yeah, I was about to
Hates
say.
being on planes.
I hate sitting. I just cramp up. I don't
Interesting.
know. And the thing is my last name starts with M, and two of my coaches also, their last names start with M.
Mhm.
So I'm always stuck between them, and they're like 6'3" men. So no leg space.
Right.
But it's not bad. But we get to Toronto, and then it's like a 2-hour flight from Toronto. Like, lots of people in Bermuda
No way.
will come over to the East Coast and like go to school there because it's like super, yeah. So we get to the island, and like New Zealand, it's like very like containable. So it's just like a small island. You can like you can drive across the whole island in 2 hours, and like that's nice with rugby when you're like there on like tour to play. You don't get to really like that's what we felt in Ireland. It was like, I've been to Ireland, but I feel like I have to go again.
Yeah.
Because like half the time you're training and you don't really get like the full travel experience. But
Right.
Bermuda, also because of COVID, but like it's small enough that you're like, I've been to Bermuda, I'd be okay if I didn't go again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get there, people are like talking about COVID. We're like, okay, like whatever. We're there for a couple
Guys,
days.
it's not funny. Stop.
And yeah, like we go to our first training session, and we took like a junior team as well, like a group of high school girls. And all of a sudden, like none of the other teams are coming. It's like the Bermuda team, one team from Toronto came, and that was it. So there's like 3 of us.
Listen, man, less competition. You're
Well,
getting that number
we
one
won.
spot.
Yeah, no. So
You guys
Up with the money.
didn't even have competition this year by the scores.
yeah,
You
true.
guys just kind of like rolled over people. So.
In Can West, yeah, and then we got to
Yeah.
nationals. We're like,
Oh,
This game's hard.
what?
You play 80 minutes?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Stop hitting me.
Fuck off. So yeah, and then but everyone's like, well, we can still play, but we couldn't because Rugby Canada shut down. So then we had
Oh.
no insurance, so we could not tackle.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it was
Is that
like
how that works?
Yeah.
Really?
Rugby Canada's like insurance is huge.
you
Oh.
have to have insurance. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Is that part of your fees when you sign up for a rugby team at a
you
school?
always have to. It's like $100 a year.
Okay.
Yeah. But like with school, for university, I think you're like insured by the university. You don't have to have insurance. But then once
Right.
you play club in the spring season, you have to be insured.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So we ended up playing a touch tournament, which was fun, and like we mixed our team and the younger team, so it was like more fair because otherwise it would have just been. We weren't supposed to be in the same league anyways. But anyways, so then we get to play a bit, and then like because like we realized like the severity of COVID, we were like, there's really no point in. Dean's like, I'm not gonna run you guys this whole trip when we're really not going back home to any rugby. So
Yeah, but how cool would it have been, like Rocky moment or like Karate Kid moments? You're running on
just
the
on
beach.
the beach,
and
yeah,
you-
yeah, exactly.
They got the
They were-
inspirational 80s soundtrack going in the background.
I honestly though, like that was like I hadn't had a break from training for such a long time,
Yeah.
so it was not bad to have a break in Bermuda.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was literally a vacation.
So what'd you do then?
We lots of time on the beach. We
Beach.
went to this one beach in like pink
Go
sand.
to the waves.
It was I've never seen anything so beautiful. It was like, you know, like those backgrounds that come with your computer.
Yeah.
It was like that, and I was like, wow,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm in my computer background.
Yeah. I'm living this.
Crazy.
And then we went to one of the girls, like the reason we went on that trip, one of the high school girls, her family would go to Bermuda like every year. They knew a lot of people there. So then they did a lot of like tour stuff for us. They're like, oh, we should go here, here, here. So we went cliff diving off this one place. It was so
What?
cool. It wasn't like super high, but still pretty fucking
It's a
cool.
little like a little drop off. You like you
Yeah.
can step down from it, but
Yeah.
you're like, woo!
You know, like Whiteshell?
Yep.
Have you
Yep.
seen videos of people there? Like it's kind of, it was
Yeah,
like
okay.
that, but obviously like really pretty.
Yeah.
And then we went into a cave, and it was like there was a water cave. Like there was one in
Ooh.
our resort,
Mhm.
which was like kind of cool, and then there was this other one that was like the coolest thing. And you like, yeah, you could jump in and then swim around in there. It was yeah, it was pretty cool. And
Nice.
then I don't know what else we did. I honestly like missed training. Like I would have loved to like, and because like where our resort was, there wasn't really a lot of like places you could just go for a run.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool experience for sure. And then we had to come home, and like we're there, and everyone's like, they're saying like school's online now, and we're like, what is happening?
Yeah, you come back to a new world.
And like there was literally no cases of COVID in Bermuda, so we're like, wouldn't mind staying here.
That'd be fun.
But
Oh shit, I'm stuck in Bermuda.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
yeah, the worst.
Yep.
But yeah, the airports were insane. Like everyone's like hazmat suits.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, you know,
Hectic, scared.
everyone's
Yeah.
scared shitless, and like some of the girls are like, oh man, like I have a bit of a sore throat. Do I tell them? Do I not tell
Don't
them?
That's
tell
the
them.
scary
Do not
Never tell
them.
them.
Yeah.
Do not tell them.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
Yep.
Yeah, because you want to be honest. You're like, they have these like protocols in for a reason
Yeah,
or whatever.
they do not want COVID to spread.
Yeah.
The one thing I've learned from COVID is that no one knows anything. Just don't tell them.
Just don't tell them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Unless you're visibly like,
Bro, that guy has
Dying,
COVID.
yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah. Then we got home,
Yeah.
and then
Did your trip get cut short?
no, we
No.
got the full trip.
Nice.
It was like, yeah, best case scenario. But then we had to isolate when we got home.
Right.
And a lot of the girls were local from BC, so they were able to go home, or they lived off campus, so they could just like live in their house.
Yeah.
But then I was living on campus and not local at all, so I couldn't live in my unit either because I had like shared bathrooms and whatever. So they put me in like Walter Gage, which is another residence and I had like the whole place to myself and one other. Our trainer actually is from Calgary, so the two of us were roommates for 2 weeks, and we just vibed in the little apartment. And
Nice.
yeah, the first 2 weeks was fine.
Yeah.
And then I came home to Manitoba because
Right.
I had to come home, and also campus was so dead. It was like the scariest. Like it's usually very busy, and there was no one. And then I come home, and then I had to isolate for 2 weeks in a random house in Rivers.
Yep.
And at that point, I got a little lonely.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I haven't had, like, as someone who hasn't really traveled since COVID, I haven't had to isolate at all.
It
And
sucks.
It probably does.
I've done
like,
it too many times.
Like, at least you don't have to do it now. You know what I mean?
It is nice.
Like this time you coming back home. But yeah, I remember last year when you got into that house or whatever, I was just like, oh man, poor Jordan. Now she's like, she can't really do anything.
Yeah.
She's just stuck there. I'm like, oh. Yeah. So you've been to Bermuda.
Yeah.
You've been to Ireland.
Yeah.
You've been to,
And then pretty much just Canada.
yeah, like a lot of Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like for traveling, I really just want to keep traveling within Canada because there's so
Yeah.
many other places I still want to go.
I'd love to go to the East Coast.
Yeah.
I haven't been there.
Halifax
so-
is very nice.
Yeah.
It's very foggy. Very cool. I guess with that, I want to transition to the other question that Mike brought up. Fan submitted question. Very well.
I am a fan.
Shoot us a DM
Yeah,
on
for
Instagram.
sure.
We'll get to them.
Definitely.
And,
Don't have Instagram.
yeah,
we don't have an Instagram account.
We should get an Instagram.
Yeah,
I feel like we should.
That would be really good.
That way I don't have to just post onto my story and be
Yeah.
like, hey, come check out my
Yeah.
Twitter to find out that we have a new episode.
Yeah.
Um,
Glad I'm contributing to
Yeah,
this
thanks.
podcast.
contributing.
Just an idea.
You want to be the social media manager?
Huh?
I'm terrible at social media.
You're
but
also
Oh,
too
well.
busy for that.
Yep.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Done. You don't get paid.
We'll talk off camera. Off mic. But I want to transition to like moving like away from any form of family whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I traveled to Antigonish, Nova Scotia by myself. And I don't know anybody in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like, so I got there. I had no family or whatever. I had no friends or anything.
So back up, Ren. Why did you go there?
Well, Jordan.
I don't know you. Tell me the.
Please.
Tell me this.
I went to Red River College.
In Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg.
Which was 2 hours away from home.
Yes. Which was fine.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours, and I lived with my brother, so like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a big deal because I
Yeah.
had somebody I knew, and then I made friends at college, and it all worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
Until I hated college, and I left after a year and a half. So
You should have finished that year, man.
nah.
It's a 2-year degree, man.
No, it's a 3-year.
Oh, is it?
It's like
Okay.
a 3
Oh, right.
3
Never
or
mind.
4 year. Yeah.
Not worth it.
No.
Anyways.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I basically I was getting fed up with college, and I watched this documentary called Chasing Coral.
Oh man.
Alright.
Probably high,
remember
too.
that.
Listen, it's a fantastic documentary.
Yeah.
But
It was definitely high.
it inspired me. You know what I mean? It inspired me to become a marine biologist.
I remember this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I applied to 3 different universities on the East Coast because I figured like Jordan went to the West Coast, so I want to go to the East Coast.
I just want to be loved by my
Please
family.
acknowledge
Be proud of
me.
me.
So I applied to Dalhousie and Halifax and Antigonish or St. FX. And I get into all 3. I'm like, cool, okay. So I'm gonna go to Antigonish because it seems like a small enough town and whatever.
Yeah.
And they seem to have a really cool university vibe going.
Did you get accepted to all 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine having good grades.
I'm kind of smart, man.
All right.
Smart.
You like don't play a sport and that didn't get you
No.
into school?
No.
Oh, okay.
And Dalhousie's like an academic school.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at them to do upgrading.
Yeah.
For my course.
It looked really cool, and I really wish.
Dalhousie would have been cool.
In hindsight, I really
Uh-huh.
wish I had gone to either of the other 2, like
yeah.
where there was things to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm like, all right, I'm going to St. FX. I'm gonna get the X ring. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it
be
would've
really
been cool.
cool.
Yeah.
And this is a huge new thing that I want to try, and like I'm gonna go do it. And then I get there, and it kind of sucked, because like I felt trapped in this tiny little town. I didn't have anybody I knew. I talked to one person from my building, but like. We weren't like close friends. We were just like we were friends. Like
Yeah.
we talked to each other and we had lunch together and supper together, whatever. But yeah, I hated the loneliness of it. Right? Like
Yeah.
It-
and
it-
you're so far from home.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd just go on my PlayStation every day and talk to Dow or talk to Mike and Noah and just play games with them because like I didn't have anything else to do because I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the problem with like when you travel somewhere. Not travel, but like if you go to school somewhere, if you don't make friends early on, you're kind of screwed.
Because everyone else is making friends.
Exactly.
And you also went out of college, not out of high school. So all of
Yeah.
a sudden you have this 2-year gap between you and everyone else in your year,
Exactly.
which makes it a little harder to relate to people.
Mm-hmm.
But was there like clubs and stuff at St. FX that you
Oh.
could have joined?
I can add to this. St. FX is the #1 party school in all of Canada.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
And you did
And-
not take advantage.
Nope.
Little.
I don't-
No
Mrs.
party
Ryan is
ran.
not a
Yeah, I
big
d-
partier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm
I
not
don't
a
think I
partier, and
would've
I
done
don't know
well there
why I
either.
thought that. Like my
Yeah,
my
you should've
thought
looked
process.
into that.
Yeah, I did though. Like my
You
thought
were like,
process.
I'm gonna become a partier.
This is
exactly.
me.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought like I figured I needed a new change. Like I needed something to get me to get more social.
Yeah.
So I figured if I just jumped off the deep end
Yeah.
and before learning how to swim and just be like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm
I
gonna
am
learn to
social
be.
now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. No, it didn't work at all. I hid in my room for most of the time because I
Yeah.
didn't know how to communicate with other people very well. Like I wasn't very social at all.
Yeah.
So for me, traveling somewhere without family, without knowing anybody, it was rough.
Yeah,
It's not
for
it's
sure.
not good for me. Like I kind of need that support system.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then like after the first semester, I was like, nope, I'm coming home. I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in hindsight, I probably would have loved to go to one of the other universities because it's a bigger city with like stuff to do. There was one movie theater in this town, and
Yeah.
like I walked most of the town within the first 2 weeks. And I was like, shit.
That's it,
Now what do I
babe.
do? Well, like when I went to
Yeah.
when I lived in Winnipeg, that was like I'd walk somewhere every day.
Yeah.
Like I'd always
Yeah.
find something new.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing
Yeah.
and good food.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, I wasn't 14 hours away.
Yeah, I had the benefit of being there with Noah,
Yeah.
which is
That would help.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
But even then, when we were basically living in the most isolated place in New Zealand.
Right.
Like there's probably like 100 people, or like not even. Like there was like nobody around.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a big city. You didn't have like Winnipeg, and you knew nobody. So we spent most of our time hanging out with like 30 to 40-year-old farmers,
Oh yeah.
which I mean isn't too bad. You do learn a lot from them.
You go
You
golfing
would.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
But like for people our age and like when we were supposed to go out and kind of like spread our wings, it kind of turned into kind of like hiding at home and not really doing too much.
Right.
Then like when the bus tour, which is supposed to be like our freedom where we get out and like, just go crazy, got canceled.
Yeah.
But And like, as much as I love Noah, I think he can probably agree with this. He's not much of a happy-go-lucky, like meet new people kind of guy.
Right.
He's very much more of an introverted, shy.
Yeah.
So even if we went to the hostels and did the whole bus tour, it would have been a lot of me trying to like
Coax him
to do stuff, which is fine. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I love Noah, and he's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Upper echelon, right?
He's in the S tier.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I got a lot of people up
Right.
there, so you guys are all up there. So, yeah. So it would have been probably not a great time for Noah,
Yeah.
which would have made it not as great of a time for me.
Totally, I
but,
understand. Yeah.
Like if I were to go back, I'd go with like Brad.
Oh,
Where it's
yeah.
like me and Brad are like
Well, I mean, you
Get
guys
some trouble.
dynamic duo on the D
man,
floor at
shit
Houston's.
disturbers,
Yeah.
absolute shit disturbers.
Yeah. I think
So,
traveling because I think most, like, I'm fairly introverted as well, and like the meeting people aspect of things is like a little difficult for me. Like, I'll have a conversation with a stranger, but like, I don't know. I like definitely struggle with that aspect, but it's like hard because I want to travel, but it's also like, am I getting the full experience?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could ever do solo travel, because like, unless I have a very like Noah went to, where did he go?
shit, I forget. He went to a
was it-
scuba diving place in.
Was it Bermuda?
No, Bonaire.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you know where that is?
No.
I don't either.
I forget which. There's like a set of islands, but this one is completely dedicated to scuba diving. Because
That's
for
cool.
when he graduated, what he wanted for a gift was to get his scuba license. So he got that over the summer, and then went to Bonaire in February.
That's sick.
And he went scuba diving for a whole week. Which, I mean, I almost ruined again because I was sick one day before COVID. Like, really sick. I don't know. And he invited me to go to Winnipeg because all of his scuba courses were in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So I got him sick. And then he was sick for his final physical scuba test. So he had to reschedule that. And that was like a month in the making to try to get that ready to go. And yeah, he was runny nose, stuffed nose,
Oh.
just the hardcore
was this
fever.
During COVID, like that was the reason he couldn't, or just
No,
because he was
this
sick
was-
and you can't really
yeah.
scuba dive when you're sick.
Yeah, you can't really scuba dive when you're sick. So, sorry, Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez.
Your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's on you.
Um,
Did you find it was hard? Like, you were with Noah, but like, did you like miss family and friends and whatever? Or
'Cause,
could you care less?
You guys can probably like attest to this, but like when you're gone doing your own thing, I don't know if you can because you didn't like it as much, but maybe like when you're in a whole new environment and you're worrying about other things, like when you're training and stuff,
Yeah.
like since they're not there all the time and you're not reminded of them, you almost, I don't want to say forget about
But
them,
you don't think of it.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
think of it, right?
I can kind of attest to it.
Yeah.
Because like going from, you go to somewhere new, and nobody knows you, and you don't have those preconceived you don't have expectations placed upon you at all. So like
Yeah.
going to a new school, nobody knew me. I could do whatever I want. Like I could
Do whatever you want.
anything I wanted.
Anything you
So I
wanted.
chose to do
Arson?
nothing.
And I did nothing.
Yeah. Like, oh, I was sorry. I was talking about transferring to Elton.
Oh,
Going
yes.
from Rivers to Elton. Like
Yeah.
that was like when I went to Penhold for Air Cadets. I was popular.
Yeah, you thrived actually.
Yeah.
Because you could just be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And like
Yeah.
these people didn't really care because they were a bunch of weirdos too.
True.
Like,
I wouldn't call you a weirdo, right?
yeah, but
I
like
would.
I was
would.
okay.
he was on the spectrum of
Yeah.
weird.
Definitely. So yeah, like if you go somewhere new, there's so many different opportunities available for you. And I think like if I went to Antigua now, I still don't think I would enjoy it just because of how small and limited my possibilities are.
Yeah, I think you'd do much better in like Vancouver, where
Yeah.
you'd find similarities and like there would be places of interest for you. Like,
Yeah, like I don't think with Saint Effects the only thing that you really could do was go drink.
yeah.
And that's just not something
no,
that's
exactly. I would not enjoy it.
yeah, that's not fun. Like I need to go find new things and like go for a hike, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I was so excited to go to Cape Breton. Was like, shit, I have a week where I can just go somewhere and like explore a new place because I've already explored this tiny little town.
Yeah, for sure.
Jordan, you live by yourself, kind of. over on the West Coast.
I do.
How's that been like? Like, what was your first year of university like where, like, you didn't have family?
Yeah, my first year was, it was fine. And, like, one of the girls that was fairly local, like, her family was 2 hours away. I remember we were driving to a club game. It was in January, February. Mm-hmm. And she was talking to her coach and explaining how homesick she was. And she asked me, like, how I can, like, manage with that and, like, being so far away from home. And I was like, honestly, dude, don't feel it at all. Like, I don't think I had been homesick once that whole time I was there.
Wow.
And, like, it is hard. Like, I obviously enjoy my family and my friends here. Mm-hmm. But, and especially my first semester, my first year, I swear I was in, like, fight or flight the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like, I was so, like, stressed with school. I was, like, I was doing fine, but I wanted to do so well that I was constantly studying if I wasn't doing rugby. And then rugby, of course, I'm a first year on this big team.
You gotta prove yourself.
I had lots of catching up to do and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was definitely, I didn't have a lot of time to think about
You were top dog back in Minnedosa. But, like, you go to BC and all of a sudden people, like, play rugby.
Oh, I'm very undersized. Yeah. So, and having a team makes a huge difference, which I think you would have lacked. Like, I went there and I had built-in friends. Like, it was...
they were forced to be your friend.
Exactly. Dang it. Everyone else was in the same boat. So
you have to like me.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Otherwise, this will not go well.
Yeah.
Which is great, but, like, now that I'm in my third year, I think something, like, being on a team, you kind of, like, over-rely on each other, and, like, it very much becomes your bubble, so you can be a little narrow-visioned, and, like, you're not quite getting that full experience of, like, meeting a lot of different people with different interest and whatever. Your world is, like, very much rugby. So
right.
I would say that's one downfall, but it made the transition super easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you have, like you're saying, Mike, you have people that are in the same boat. Or did you say that? Sorry.
She said that.
I
you
said
that.
that.
Yeah. You have people in the same boat as you, and you're all, like, all of you are trying to thrive in this new-ish environment. Some people live there, or some people have been there before, but, like, they understand what you're going through as well.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's been a first year. Everyone knows how hard it is.
Yeah.
So even, like, the older girls you can vibe with. So
right.
Yeah.
Wow, this is cool. I like talking about this.
Yeah. Traveling is a great
Travel is a
discussion
great
because
thing.
it's never about the travel, right? It's always about everything that happens during the point, like getting there, right? So there's so many different facets of traveling that are just because anybody can sit on a plane and go from one spot to another. It's like the experience that it gives.
Yeah, totally.
And being in different places and stuff.
And, like, the worldliness of it and how you, like, I think it's very easy to stay in a small town and think the same way for your whole life.
Totally.
But, yeah, traveling, like, really challenges you and you kind of, you start to believe different things because you've seen a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah. And that's why I love one of my favorite shows, or, like, people on TV, is Anthony Bourdain, because he, like, goes to other places around the world, and, like, he's not putting on a show. He's not, like, being, like, obviously he's on TV, so he has to, like, like, make it entertaining.
Make a show.
Yeah, he's got to make a show, but, like, at the end of the day, he's, like, he doesn't bullshit about it. He's like, I'm learning about these people and their culture, and I don't want to, like, there was one episode of his show, it's not Parts Unknown, it's No Reservations.
Yeah.
He travels to a place in Africa, I believe, and he goes to the stall, and is it might be in Haiti, I can't remember. Anyway, a bunch of people very much down on their luck, like, really shitty things are happening, they can't afford food. Bourdain goes, and his film crew goes to this one place and gets some rice or whatever, like, get some food from a vendor, and he's like, wow, a lot of these people are really really down, like, you know what, we'll buy everybody food, we'll buy you out, like, this stall person.
Yeah.
And his good intentions didn't work because everybody started rioting over the food, and everybody started fighting each other because they need their share, and everybody got impatient and they started bothering each other. And, like, that's a thing you don't put on TV. that's not something you want to show. You want to show everything being happy-go-lucky.
Yeah,
you know, like everybody's doing
look
great.
At what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it showed like the negative consequences of trying to help people without understanding first their perspective and their
Their flow of like how things work.
yeah.
Where they are.
Yeah. Their culture at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting to travel anywhere. And you're an outsider. You're not like, you don't understand what they're going through. You don't understand like what people are doing in this place. You're new.
Yeah.
You can either
Which is
pretend like you're one of them, or you can stop and listen and learn to what they're talking about
Yeah.
and like doing.
Yeah, that's like like on the other perspective though, you are like your own culture, right? Coming into a place. Like it's like, did you guys have exchange students in Rivers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you're an exchange student coming in, your culture is completely different than everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't like change your culture to like
Oh, no.
in that space, right?
No.
You still should like show what a Canadian is in like New Zealand or the exchange student to
represent.
Rivers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the same point that you're going to see their culture, you should also give them a little taste of yours, right?
Totally. If
Yeah,
they
for
can't
sure.
travel to your place, they can understand what kind of culture you're putting out.
Yeah, and I think that makes it really interesting when you travel, right?
Yeah.
Because you meet not only when you travel, like especially far away, like somewhere like Ireland or New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's especially when it's like a tourist place, you do find people that aren't just from New Zealand, right?
No, yeah, you get to
I
meet-
got
yeah.
everyone,
Yeah.
right? And I got lucky where I was in New Zealand, living in New Zealand, so I got the full cultural experience.
You weren't just there for a week
Yeah.
and then
And you're not in Auckland where that's where all the tourists are.
Pure tourists.
Yeah.
Where we did get some tourist attractions like Queenstown, which
Yeah.
is basically just a full tourist trap.
yeah.
Very fun. So much fun.
Well, that's the thing. Like I
But-
don't knock tourist stuff. Like,
No, yeah, for sure.
but
It's
you
the
got to
reason why.
understand that like if you go somewhere, if you go to Florida, not the most culturally like
No.
rich place, but like if you go to Florida and you go to Disney World, that's not Florida.
That's not Florida.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just a thing at Florida.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially if you're traveling somewhere to see like the culture and what they do, you can't really go to their tourist attractions, right?
No.
Because that doesn't
But
do
I think
anything.
if you're there for 5 days,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna hit the tourist ones.
Oh,
But
definitely.
Yeah.
How long were you in New Zealand? A couple months.
4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So we got
You were really like immersed in it.
really immersed. And like the South Island isn't a tourist trap by any means.
Would you
it's-
say? Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Finish.
What was the question?
Wow.
My.
What podcast etiquette?
Yeah. The people in New Zealand, like, how would you say they differ from people in Canada?
They're not too far off. They have funny accents.
Right.
They, it really was simpler in New Zealand. Like, I don't know how to
Like island
explain
time?
it. Like in Canada, feels like there's so much stuff I have to worry about when I'm in Canada, just around me, where in New Zealand, it was just do you. It really felt like so relaxed and simple. Like there was only one facet of just living and just doing whatever you want. Especially like living on a farm, like.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were quite isolated though.
So it was quite isolated. So you didn't really have many options, but it was a very simple life, and I think it. I
don't think farming is like that here.
No.
No,
Like
'cause
it is and it isn't, but it's
Yeah.
also very like.
Like it was like just a nice set schedule of just being. I don't know. It was hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's just you wake up, you farm, you hang out a little bit, you go play cricket on Tuesdays. Like it was
course.
really like. I'm from a small town, and this was smaller than I've ever imagined. Right. It was really really nice, really strong community. Culture-wise, like them towards our Aboriginals, they are a lot more like how do I say it?
Yeah, New Zealand's huge on
Respectful?
that.
Respectful to
Yeah.
them. Like
Yeah.
they're really trying to take their culture and try to bring it into the rest of New Zealand. So like the kids actually knew their native tongue of Maori,
Oh wow.
and they would actually like be able to speak it and learn it in school.
That's
Like
dope.
their actual culture. Well, with us, it's more of like a history book,
Do you
which
think
I don't
that's-
think.
Do you think that's due to it used to be New Zealand was like very much like a white place, and then eventually like people in charge started to become more like, hey, we gotta stop being dickheads about this. Like we gotta start changing and reforming and stuff like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that like the culture there is a lot nicer for Maori. Anyways, I obviously was like outsider looking in.
Right.
So from like based on what Canada's doing to what
Yeah,
they're
you
doing,
do have that though.
definitely like a lot of pros there, but I'm sure there's lots of cons that I just didn't get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And especially a lot of your perspective is going to be based off of where you were. Like, if you came to Canada and you went to Vancouver, you might say, like, oh, they're great. And then you go somewhere else in the country and, oh, it's a bit of a different story.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
No, I really enjoyed it. We had, for our Boxing Day party, we went and we were with a Maori family, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That was crazy.
What'd you do?
Yeah. Oh, we drank a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Drank a lot. My boss, Paul, I don't know why. I partied with him like 3 or 4 times, but there's always a point in the night where he'll walk up and he has this random solo cup. And he like sips it and he's like, "You want some?" I'm like, "What is it, Paul?" And it's always something weird. It's like the first time I was like, "You ever had a Jaeger bomb?" I was like, "Yes, Paul. Yes, I have." "Oh, did you want some?" He's just like, he just goes, talks to people, socializes, and then bums drinks off of them.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious. One time it was like, "What is that, Paul?" He's like, "Gin and tonic." I was like, "Paul, do you even like gin and tonic?" "Nope."
Nope.
Just sets it down and goes talk to someone else and grabs another drink from them.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking
That's
Paul.
funny.
Something that just kind of came into my mind. Typically when you tell, like, okay, so you go travel somewhere, you come back and you want to tell people about it, right?
Yeah.
There's this common thing where, like, I've heard that people don't really want to hear about your experience, if that makes sense. Like, people don't really want to hear all about it because then they start to feel jealous about it.
I hope people want to hear the experience because that's the whole point of this podcast.
That's kind of
today.
what I'm getting at, though,
This
because
is
I
not
really
gonna be
like
good.
Everyone's like, I'm out.
I like
Yeah.
deep diving into different travel stories and everybody having different experiences and different stories to tell.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I like doing. If you go travel, I want other people to learn about it and know about it. You know what I mean?
But I think travel is a very personal thing.
It's like travel itself. There's like a whole bunch of physical stuff you do, but like you learn so much that's hard
Yeah.
to describe.
Yeah.
Unless you're trained in it, like Randy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's lots of philosophical questions that can be answered when you travel that are very hard to
Totally.
portray.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys, when you go travel, do you like keep notes? Do you take like a bunch of photos, or do you just try to live in the moment?
No, I like to live in the moment and
Yeah.
try to like what I can take back with me. That's all I need. I don't need to socialize my experience.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I would say I'm fairly live in the moment.
Yeah.
I definitely take pictures, but I'm not a great picture taker. It's usually nice because there's always someone I'm traveling with, like being with the team, that is very much like that, and they'll make a nice little vlog about
Yeah.
it, and I can watch the vlog, and
Yeah.
I can.
You
just-
didn't have to do the work.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can just live there.
I love, not at the moment, like if I'm doing the thing that I don't want to be like, I better stop and write down what I'm doing right
Yeah,
now.
of course
But
you
like
like
at
to
the end
write.
of each day, I like just being able to like when I went to Vancouver, like each day I'd be like, day 1, we went here, 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 like 5 notes. But then I can look back at that being like, hell yeah, we did do that. Because I've kind of a bad memory when it comes to like little things, you know?
Right.
But having those notes kind of reminds me, and all those pictures that I take, like really like lets me, some things that you can't just describe, you have to show. And even if you take a picture, like I took a picture at the top of the Chief in Squamish,
Yeah.
and it doesn't do it justice. Like it can remind me of that feeling that I had when I was at the top of a fucking mountain, but
Yeah.
it won't ever do justice to how blue the water was, how blue the sky was, how green the trees were. Like
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you remember how sniffly I was on that BC trip?
Yeah. I was so mad at you. That whole time.
Yeah.
It was so annoying.
But like once I like started climbing the mountain, I was just like, oh, I can breathe now.
Oh, some fresh mountain air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Do I have anything else? Hold on.
We could do this for hours.
That's
and
the thing.
hours, right?
Yeah.
I have 36% left on the laptop here, but otherwise,
That's plenty.
That's so much.
I know. Do you think that when do you well, as you travel a lot, Jordan, like for rugby,
I guess.
like not
The
a lot,
last
but
2
like
years have been pretty bum.
you travel more than we do for sure.
I guess. Yeah.
When do you feel safe to travel again, Mike?
Uh,
Or are you good now?
I could be good now.
Yeah.
Like without the issue I have with COVID right now is the time it can take away from you, right?
Yeah.
Like the symptomatic and stuff of COVID doesn't scare me because I'm young, healthy. I
Vaccinated.
got 2 shots, right? Like it's gonna be a cold.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
issue is if I get COVID, I gotta wait 10 days to do something. And now that like the restrictions are, And like instead of me going there 2 weeks, coming back 2 weeks, the test every single time, it feels a little bit more open to where I think I'd be okay with traveling.
Okay.
I think I need to travel to somewhere that's a little bit more pro-COVID, like resilient against it. Like I'm not going to go to Florida where it's like,
In the
let's
States,
just
yeah.
let's just dance and like have no restrictions or
Pretend it
whatever,
doesn't
right?
exist,
Yeah. But yeah, I could probably travel right now, no problem. Like I could definitely see myself if I had the money, time, and like just freedom to do like an RV trip like across Canada. Has always been a dream.
Yeah. Kind of like what Jules is doing.
I don't know if I go that hard.
No.
She's
She's loving life,
she
man.
is
It
living
looks
a
like
life
fun. It
like
looks
no
like so much
other,
fun.
right? But yeah, that's not me. No.
What's she doing?
Basically, she's doing like the live in a van, travel across, like go party in places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She is
Cool.
as hippie as it gets.
That's awesome.
Which is fantastic.
Oh,
for
it's
her.
so
Yeah,
cool.
really
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jordan, are you still? Do you really care about traveling at the moment? Like, you came here from Vancouver, obviously, and like, that's not a big deal. But you're going to France coming up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
You're gonna go play rugby in France.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor soul. That's gonna be a fun time.
Why?
France is so good at rugby.
I know.
They are
I know.
crazy. They've won.
Yeah.
I think they've won U20s 3 or 4 years in a row now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nationally. So I don't want to
even-
scare you, but
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're scared now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited though. I've never been super keen on like Paris
Mm.
because I've heard it's just kind of like, it's Paris and it's like dirtier than you think it is, like just like the city wise and stuff. But we're going to like the south of France, which I think will be quite beautiful. So
Weird aside. Do you remember that Sweet Life on Deck episode where they go to Paris?
wasn't there a person named Paris?
No.
Yeah.
No, London.
Well,
London.
That was
London.
London.
Yeah.
I think her name because it's Paris Hilton was like kind of the
Oh,
what London is
yeah.
based off of.
Right. You don't remember this?
I have like a very like vague memory of it.
Okay.
But anyways, your point.
My point was like, do you think they actually went to
No.
Paris, or do they just made sets?
I do not think so. I think that was probably a set made.
That's right. That makes sense. Anyway, sorry.
That's okay.
So you're going to France.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we were supposed to go on tour like this fall in August. That did not happen.
Where were you supposed to go before France? Because something
it
got
was supposed to
canceled.
be New Zealand and Samoa.
Oh, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
That's
which
fun.
I was very excited for, but that did not happen. We kind of knew though it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So we just did Whistler. We did like a week in Whistler, which I actually, again, I feel like I need to go to Whistler because I don't think we didn't even go into the town. And it was funny just in August how much like COVID was still, we were still pretty cautious of it.
Yeah.
And especially going into varsity season where we didn't want that taken away. Like we were very cautious of expanding our bubble and whatever. But yeah, we were supposed to go to Missouri to Lindenwood in over reading break this year, but that's already canceled.
Right.
Just with a variant. But yeah, hopefully France happens.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, very cool.
That'd be the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is like this whole COVID thing is really like it's like my 4 years of university.
It is the worst time for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably everybody in this room right now, right? These are our years.
Our years, yeah, for
before
sure.
you gotta like hunker down and
Get
like
to work.
think about family and providing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just be like a 40-year-old mom and just postpone that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, totally.
And I kind of like what I'm thinking for this year in 2022 because we're recording this like the 3rd of January.
Let's go.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Well, look at the watch.
Got it. Date time.
7
Yep.
o'clock.
It is.
Yeah,
It is Monday.
How did we get here?
But like I think this year my goal is to just save up like instead of like I usually have like this thing I tell everybody about it where like I put 10% of every paycheck away.
Yeah.
And I think this entire year is going to be saving up for next year to have some sort of trip because
So you
I
are
need
ready,
to travel again.
and you don't need to like wait a year to save up to travel.
Exactly.
Once you can go.
Yeah, because if I can't travel right now, I might as well save up for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Where are you going?
that's the thing.
Yeah.
What a segue.
Wow.
Always wanted to say
He should host.
I should.
Yeah.
I'm a great host.
You
I
are a
think.
great host.
I'm not. You know.
Don't want to
float
toot my own horn.
boat, but I am the best host there is.
that.
No one can be. Watch
I am the
out! Watch
best.
out, Joe.
Get out of here, Joe Rogan. I want to go to Europe really badly.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to France.
Okay.
I want to go to. I really want to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
I want to go to Iceland, and I know that's not in your
I was like, dude.
brand. Wait, is it?
No, it's Scandinavian, isn't it? That's like Denmark, Norway.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, I want to go to Iceland really badly,
Okay.
and I want to go to. I want to go to Greece. I think that'd be cool. I know
Yeah.
that's like a very touristy thing.
No, for sure.
Is that close to Venice? I feel like you gotta go to Venice before it floods.
But that's
right?
the thing, though. Venice
Like
is
this.
also quite disgusting, apparently. Not disgusting, but it's as dirty as you think
Like
Paris
or
is.
whatever. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's just sewage water.
But like, with like the way the world's going, that place isn't gonna be like
It won't
above
be
water for much longer. So
Which is
like,
nuts.
it's actually gonna be
That actually breaks my
Atlantis,
heart, too.
right?
Yeah, it is gonna be like
It's
Atlantis.
literally gonna be Atlantis,
Yeah.
and you're gonna go there, Ran.
You
It's
gotta
gonna
go
be
there.
you.
That's me.
Yeah,
I'm
you
out
could,
there.
You could be in Atlantis.
Yeah. Okay. So out of those, I want to go to Ireland. I want to go. Well, I mean, like you've been to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
What's Ireland like?
It's very cool.
Yeah.
We spent a couple days in Dublin and then a couple days in Belfast.
Mhm.
Well, Belfast was first and then Dublin. And again, a lot of that was spent on a field.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the first game we played was against it's Ulster.
Mhm.
And it was definitely a very interesting first game. They were very good.
Ulster, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're probably like the team before their Pro 8s team.
I think
Think
so.
so?
I think it was like kind of like their. It's like Ireland
Academy?
does everything different, but like they're like provincial, like.
I think they all have academies. So when they're in high school-ish, they go into an academy, which then they upgrade into their Pro 8s Ulster team,
Right.
if I remember correctly. I could be wrong.
Damn.
I'm
But
not
it
a
was
genius.
it
Very
was
serious
definitely
about rugby then.
yeah
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah yeah definitely. But it was especially since a lot of us were new and like had never played with each other. It was our first game.
Yeah.
We didn't do as well as we definitely could have.
Shit got
Even
kicked
at
in.
like the end of the tour, it would have been different.
Right.
But it was like such a cool experience. It was under the lights, and it was just like so. Because of course I had just come from like high school rugby, and it was just like fully immersed in it, and I was like, okay. And then we played like two club teams, and they were just like a bunch of old fat ladies literally smoking at halftime. Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
Ireland.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Belfast I didn't see a lot. I went to the Titanic Museum, which was very cool.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that the Titanic, like,
Was
from
real?
Ireland. It was real.
I thought it was a
but
movie.
It like started in Ireland,
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
right? So that was cool. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
We went to Giant's Causeway. If you should look up pictures of that, it's beautiful.
What is it?
It's like they have like a whole like myth behind it too, that it was like a giant and like he created this land. It's like the rocks there are all like octagon shaped and they all like fit into each other.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's
and
dope.
It's looking over like water.
Okay.
And yeah, that was very beautiful. We were gonna go to the Game of Thrones like where they shoot as well. We didn't end up doing that, but we went on a bike tour. A lot of the girls got drunk.
Nice.
It was pretty funny. But then Dublin was like one of the last nights we were in Ireland, and so we bar hopped. And in Ireland they can actually change the bar can like change the age restriction. So like 18 is the drinking age in Ireland.
Yeah.
But they can say no, like you have to be 21 to get into this bar.
Oh.
Just so they can kind of like sit their scene and explore like their like it's a bit more immersed in their culture of like drinking.
Yeah.
That like it would be normal to be like 40-50-year-olds and just like going down to the pub
Yeah, they don't want the
and having a
18s.
drink. So like of course that kind of ruins it if a bunch of 18-year-old girls come into the bar and
That's fair.
are annoying. But yeah, it was definitely really cool, and we like met these 3 random guys that gave us a tour of the city. So it was really fun. It was funny.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know where that question started. Oh,
I just asked
Yeah.
what was Ireland like.
Yeah, it's
So,
cool.
Or Scotland. Scotland would be cool.
I
Pretty
would love
close.
to go to Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I could do both.
It's close to UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you want to go, Mike?
That's a tough one.
I know.
I think it'd be like I've had a dream ever since I was in high school.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to play rugby in all of the Six Nations.
Ooh.
Just to be on like the training field or play some footy or something like
Yeah.
some touch.
Yeah.
So that would be I'd want to go to Ireland, Scotland. I think Italy's in there, but I don't know if I go to Italy.
Oh, Italy would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but they're not great at rugby.
You can show them. You can show them.
Yeah,
ways.
we could. No, they'd still beat me.
Yeah. They're big.
Now I'm drawing a blank at what the rest of them are. Wales.
Okay.
I'd love to go to Wales.
Oh, Wales would be cool.
Wales would be huge. Yeah, that'd be one of my favorites.
Mhm.
So we got Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England. I guess Italy's one of them. I forget the other one. I should remember. It
What
should
do-
be like Argentina.
What do I look up?
But Six Nations. That'd be
That
the
would be
dream,
cool.
anyways.
Yeah.
Then you get everything. You do your rugby everywhere. It'd be a really fun time.
And that's the thing, like, with rugby is, like, it's so international. Like, my one buddy went to Australia, and you just, like, find a club team, and instantly you're, like,
Yeah.
you have a...
Usually with rugby, it's so ingrained in lots of people's cultures that, like, you get into rugby and then you can, like, just learn so much just by playing the game.
Yeah, and it's such a social sport that, like, you wouldn't have a hard time.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
Looks like England, France, Ireland,
France,
Italy,
that's the other one.
Scotland, and Wales.
Nice.
Yeah. France
cool.
would be the other one.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be a dream trip that I do not have money for.
Yeah, but
or
like
time.
one
but
day.
One day.
When you win that next 50-50.
I have to I have to do it before I'm like old and my body's starting to eat itself away. Like I actually
Yeah.
want to like play
Yeah.
and
True.
be able to play.
Yeah. I
I
feel
don't
like-
want to be like some old fart that's like hobbling around.
Oh,
the
why don't I
field.
play with you, kiddos?
Yeah.
You know, they fucking touch you and your fucking leg breaks, and you're like, ah,
Yeah.
shit, not
I don't
again.
have insurance here.
My
Yeah.
hip. I think like there's probably like another side tangent, but like
We love side
We
tangents
love
on
side
Junk Buggy Podcast.
I think there's the wrong conception around age, where like if you're 40, you're too old to do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, like you're not out down and out at 40 years old of your life.
There are hindrances for being
Totally.
40. Like I'm not gonna go
Yeah, I don't
play
wanna be
rugby
40.
at
Yeah.
40. Yeah, no. I'm hopefully retiring rugby at like 30. That's a good time. I still want
Yeah.
my knees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's
after
the thing
the
with
two.
rugby.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I want to be fit enough when I'm 40 to play any sport, but the unfortunate thing, rugby will keep you fit, but it probably will not keep you healthy if you're playing it until you're
No.
40.
Yeah.
The running joke in lots of rugby is it's like your body's definitely on the line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many surgeries?
Yeah. And so many people, right? And it's probably like the highest impact sport, period.
Yeah.
No protection and like
Totally.
it's not too bad when you're like a club if you stay fit, but when you're getting up into the higher like echelon, like people are strong.
Yeah.
And you don't know how strong people are until you get smacked by them,
Yup.
right? And then you have to basically wrestle with them for 80 minutes. And then you get off the field and you're like, yeah, I'll do that again.
Yeah, literally, like, just this year, like, playing, I like, fortunately only had to sit for, like, 10 minutes, so I played every single
Oof.
game, and, like, as a front row, so, like, my neck has,
Oh, yeah, you switched to
yeah,
hook.
I was with the big girls.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the second half of the season, I played flank, so that kind of, like, but it's
Helped
still
your
a
neck.
pretty heavy impact position.
That's probably your natural role, is it not?
Yeah, but at that level, it's kind of like if I can put on some size and be as dynamic as I am, I'd be a useful front row. Like that's
Especially
where
a
a modern
hook,
hook
yeah.
is.
Like
yeah,
a modern day female Dane Coles or something like that.
yeah, exactly. And like, yeah, so yeah, I definitely like the first two games, especially just because it was such a shock to like being back into rugby. Like the next day, it was like everything was sore. Like it was like
Probably.
questioning life. Like you wake up and you're like, oh my god.
Am I alive?
Yeah, and then you think back to high school and club where it's like literally the summer, like it was a sevens game, but I like played sevens and I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym. That
That's
doesn't
nothing.
count. Yeah. Or like in high school, you play like provincials and you play a game like the next day. Whereas now, like at nationals, you have a 2-day break, and yeah,
That'd be nice.
for sure. But like you need that time to recover.
Yeah.
But like high school and club and even provincial, you're just like your body is not taking anywhere near the same. And like the big girls are like, it's just weight. Like I had no problem being like so light because I could just like you just take them down. But like now the big girls kind of have a bit of a punch behind them.
Yeah.
Just be a big girl. You
Yeah,
gotta gain
yeah,
weight, right?
Gain some
Yeah,
weight.
super easy, right?
It's not too hard. No, you just gotta not care about calories and just eat until you can't eat no more.
No.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Where do you want to travel, Jordan? Because
Where
you've
do I
been all
wanna
over the
travel?
place.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
You
I've been.
You've
a
been
few
to
places.
more places than anybody in Rivers.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that, but I definitely like want to hit New Zealand. I'd go to Australia as well, just like basic.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd want to go to Australia.
You
A
gotta
lot of
see.
people say that,
Yeah,
but
you gotta see the Gold Coast before it dies because that reef is dying.
Yep. Hey,
It's really
actually,
depressing me.
in
Yeah, I
Chasing
know.
Coral,
yeah.
a great documentary that inspired me.
I'm a marine biologist.
I almost was a marine biologist.
Yeah, I
Almost.
thought about it
Yeah, I say that at the bar, you know,
when you go.
when I go.
Yeah.
I don't go. I don't talk about it.
Um.
So yeah, New Zealand, Australia. Would you go to Asia?
If I had the opportunity, I would.
Mhm.
But I don't think it'd be at the top of my list.
You wouldn't seek it out.
Yeah.
I'd definitely go to Japan.
I think it'd be
Would
cool.
you? Yeah.
So technologically
Yeah.
advanced. It's
Yeah. It would
you
be
gotta
cool.
go see it. I mean, hopefully you can catch it a little bit after some of the earthquakes, but
But it's also got that natural beauty too.
and they're like their culture is like something I've
And their
never
history
seen,
is
right.
would be very cool to see.
Yeah,
So-
totally.
Like being in New Zealand or Ireland, they're all kind of like monarchy, right? So they're all kind of the same
Yeah.
because of like they're under the queen.
Oh, there's another
Yeah,
church.
anything like any of you see a lot of hints of any of the colonized countries. It's yeah.
But like Japan's like their own thing, right?
Yeah.
That's like something you've never seen before.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and New Zealand was part of the. What's the word? You just said it. What was it?
Colony?
Monarchy.
Monarchy.
Sorry. Yeah, New
I
Zealand
think
was
of
part
another
of it too.
one. I think it's Anzac is the term.
Yes.
Australia, New
Anzac.
Zealand, something Canada.
Yeah.
It's like the
Anzac.
I think it's Anzac, something like that. It's like the a whole union of all of the
Yeah.
countries. Anzac, something like that.
Anzac, Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. Nope.
Nope, that's something different.
And-
It's something close.
All right.
It is something close to that. Anyways, yeah, it's like why it's so easy to go to Canada to New Zealand
Yeah.
Right.
and stuff like that.
Do you have to take rapid tests, Jordan, when you travel?
We did at nationals, which was like super cool. We took it 2 or 3 times, I think, and it was like so easy. You just like swirl it up your nose. Put it
Oh,
in
you
a
have to
little-
do it.
Yeah, you do it yourself,
Oh, really?
and then you put it in like a little vial with some liquid at the bottom. Swirl it around, pull it up a bit, squeeze out the whatever,
Yeah.
and then break off the like Q-tip, and then close the top of the vial, shake it up, take off the bottom, and it's like a little squeezer. And then it looks like a pregnancy test. You just squeeze the thing into that, and then 2 lines. You have COVID, 1 line you don't.
Oh wait, this is a pregnancy.
Ah,
test.
shit, I am-
Oh, what the?
I'm positive.
Coach,
Hey,
Oh,
I gotta
I'm
talk to
positive for COVID.
Yeah.
This is not a COVID
Yeah.
test.
still
How did
can't
you get
play.
this?
Yeah, but yeah, super easy, super cool. But and then I got like I had to test like real test twice last year.
Yep.
During school, had symptoms, and that one feels like
Sucks.
I would say it feels like when you go into water and you forget to plug your nose.
That is a great way of putting
Yeah.
it.
It's pretty close.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's like a couple seconds.
I didn't
know,
find it
Worst
it's
that
part is
like-
like
bad.
driving across town, waiting in line, waiting the 2 days.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's like 4 or 5 days right now in Manitoba to get tested.
Wow.
All right, how are you getting back to BC? Do you got to get a test? Because do you have to test to travel to Vancouver?
I didn't have to coming home, and I don't think I will going back.
Oh, okay.
that's good.
There
good.
might be an isolation period. Like it might not be provincial, but it might be within with athletics. We had to do that last Christmas. Wait like 10 days before we went back to the gym or back to training.
Oh,
but
no. What are you going to
Oh.
do?
we'll just run probably.
Gotta
But we're
get that
supposed to have
cardio.
7 tryouts when I get back, so I have to run a Bronco like right away, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can't catch me doing cardio right now, that's for sure.
Definitely not. To wrap this up, because we've been going for quite a while,
Yeah.
I just want to ask real quick, what has been the best place you've ever traveled to? If you had to choose like the top dog.
I had this written down.
You
It's a weird name. I think it's Lake Wakatipu.
do? Ooh.
I think that was it. There's a lot of lakes I went to. But this one was like a glacier lake. So we went tubing on it, first
Ooh.
of all.
Yeah.
So water, super cold, but
I
like
bet.
I've never seen water like that blue.
Oh, I
Like
love
it's
blue water.
nothing like I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the lake too is it actually had its own tide. Like you
Oh.
know how like the ocean has its tide because of the moon. This one had a tide as well, just the way it was formed.
That's
So
dope.
it was so cool. So it would actually like wave onto the sides and the beaches and stuff.
Mhm.
It was incredible. And it's like in the middle of a gorge too. So there's like mountains all the way across and like cliffs and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It's the main way to get from Queenstown back to where we were.
That's really cool.
That's dope.
So it was always nice to go to Queenstown just for the drive alone.
Yeah.
Also sketchy because there are some turns it's like 35 kilometers was too fast.
Ugh.
Yeah. In Ireland, the roads are so narrow and like so many curves, and like they're used to driving it. Yeah, I thought I was gonna die multiple times. The one time we just taxied to one of our games, so everyone went off into like 4 of us in each vehicle, and like I was sick. Like I got to the game and I'm like, I am nauseous now.
I'd imagine so.
Was it? Is Ireland other side, like right-hand drive or left-hand?
That's what I was just trying to think.
Because he didn't drive though, did
I
you?
imagine it would be.
I think it is.
I think so.
Yeah, is New Zealand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I drove on the left.
I would have loved to drive that.
And stick too, so it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was weird. I punched the door so many times.
Oh, I would like not be able to shift with my left hand.
Yeah.
No, it's left. No, you mean your right hand. Because you're driving. Oh wait, no.
No, you're in
left.
Yeah, you're left. Yeah, so you'd be on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was different. You kind of get used to
You
it.
would just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like it's still first, second, third, fourth,
And you were
fifth,
like way
left
more
to right.
conscious
E-
than you would
They have
here.
everything backwards.
Because
so
you
it's
just
like
do it.
6 is your first gear and 5th
Oh
is
man, that would kill me. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, the gearbox was the same. It was just you're on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, you get used to it. I think it made me a better driver.
Probably.
Just because you can't
Because
think of-
you're intentional
Yeah.
about it.
No.
Like I'm really good at roundabouts now. Like when people use roundabouts wrong,
Yep.
lose it.
You moron!
The 3 roundabouts in Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hit all of them every time I go driving.
Yeah.
Jordan, what's your favorite place you've ever been to? You have 5 seconds.
You go first.
What?
You go first.
Okay,
What's
fine.
yours?
I think it's BC. I think
Yeah.
like Vancouver and just the eye-opening experience of like what the world can be in terms of food, in terms of culture, in terms of transportation, in
Yeah.
terms of natural beauty just lying in the distance that you can just go to and you can just climb.
Yeah.
I think that was definitely my favorite trip I've ever taken. And I think Squamish was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It was that moment of we talk about this a lot in literature, the sublime, where like the sublime is basically something that is a feeling that is inspired in you when you see something that's so huge that you can't comprehend it very well in nature. So naturally, like just like holy shit, like you get that feeling of elation when you're like looking at something that big. And for me, that's like a mountain. I've not seen mountains in my life.
No, exactly. It's,
And going there, like even on the plane there, I look out the window and there's clouds and there's mountains above the clouds. I'm like, wow.
I literally get that feeling every time I fly, like back to Vancouver. Like I just like look out the window and I'm like,
I'm
wow.
really glad
and
that
it
hasn't like
still hasn't gone away.
yeah, I'm really glad that hasn't happened for you.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, it's just the mountains.
And unfortunately, when I come back to Manitoba, like,
Oh, there's another field.
This is not it.
Yeah.
and it's just so like in the winter, I'm like, I am depressed now.
Yeah.
I do like always fly home at the worst times of year. Like Manitoba's beautiful in the summer, but when I come home in the spring, it's when everything's brown, and
Yeah.
in the winter, it's when everything's white and
Yep.
dirty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sucks. So yeah, definitely like
Vancouver in general.
I know it's not specific, but like Vancouver, Squamish, like BC, like that area of BC that I went to was fantastic.
And you'd get a lot of like the, like in any big city, you would find a lot of the like how food can be whatever.
yeah.
But like Vancouver, what I like about it is just like you have all that, and then you like look to your left and you see the mountains or the ocean. Like
Totally.
it's just yeah.
And like speaking of food, like we went to Jordan and I finished the grouse grind and we needed some food, so we went to this little just hole in the wall little restaurant called Salmon and Bannock,
Oh, so good.
like a Native American run and like restaurant that was the best fucking food. Like I had a salmon type little flatbread pizza. It was so good, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it was like Bannock dough, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think I had a Bannock burger with salmon.
Yeah.
I think like Vancouver itself is such your vibe, Ran.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
is such your place.
Totally.
I
I'll
think
get
you
out
and
there. I'll get out there.
yeah, I think you and Beth would do wonders out there.
I think
Both
so.
you.
I think like
yeah.
you like small town Brandon is just not you guys.
No.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, for sure.
please don't get stuck in Brandon.
No, I
Please,
won't.
Randy.
I won't.
Yeah.
Jordan. Somebody else go.
Um.
Because you've been some places.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Ireland.
Yeah.
And I would go there again. I don't know. I don't think I found.
You don't
my
have a
favorite-
strong
I don't
contender
think I
for
found
the top
my
one?
favorite place yet.
Really?
No.
How about if you could live anywhere?
I
Like
could
here's
live-
here's a blank ticket. However that works, you just gotta write what you want on there, and it's like, yeah, here you go.
I'd like to go to
in
like a-
Canada.
no
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Blank, Jordan.
Blank.
That's so much.
It doesn't say
pressure.
blank Canada. It
No.
says blank.
I don't know.
I think you would do really
need
good in
to
New
go-
Zealand.
Maybe.
New Zealand's
Yeah.
not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty. I think you could do really well.
Yeah.
East Coast would be another good spot.
Yeah.
Like, very rugby cultured.
Yeah.
A little bit more down to earth.
Yeah.
I like definitely could see myself like living in Vancouver for like another year or two after school to kind of like really get all of it. And then I want to see like interior BC, the island and stuff like that. Like I feel like there's a lot of BC I want to see. And then
There's a lot to see in
there's
BC.
There it is.
a lot to
Wow.
see.
Put that on the poster.
Yeah.
Put it on the billboard.
British Columbia, you need to call me.
Yeah. So I would want to live in BC for a couple years
Yeah.
after I graduate. And then I don't know about the East Coast. I need to go like see these places, obviously,
Yeah.
before I live
You
there.
should go to Cape Breton.
But
I
if
think, like-
I ever get good enough, I'd love to go play in the Premiership and live in England for a couple years.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think like England would be cool to live in. Like London and stuff like that.
Yeah, we actually had one of our players on bars used to play Pro 8s, hey?
Who did?
What was his name? Douglas? Yeah, he actually used to.
Oh, the Scottish guy.
Yeah, he actually played Pro 8s with like pro national players.
Really?
Yeah,
Did
and
you chat with him at all?
Yeah,
I talked to him
crazy.
and Angus like once after practice, but not too much. But
Angus,
I
I think,
really
wasn't as much as a
no,
rugby player.
no, you could tell.
Yeah, he said that Pro 8s is very regimented. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's good to go.
Regimented
But
meaning like very.
you eat, you train, you can't go out, you can't drink, you don't really have freedoms. He
I did
said,
not mind that at all.
but like if rugby's what you want to do, it's
Yeah.
best place to be.
Cool.
Cool. So you still need to find your place.
Yeah.
You haven't found the place.
Haven't
Yeah.
found the place.
One day.
One day.
Maybe France.
Well, hopefully, maybe.
We don't know.
I don't like. I love French people. Is what I was gonna say.
You sound like you were about to say you don't like French people.
I
Jordan,
feel like they're
that's
just.
some of our audience.
Who?
I have no idea.
Uh,
I'm just helping stuff.
just have like the map of where
Yeah.
all your listeners are from.
I think like it's 98% Canadian and then 2% United States.
Really.
Yep.
Wow.
yeah.
are global.
Thanks, Addie.
Thanks, Addie. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Jordan, thank you for coming on the Junk Monkeys podcast.
Of course.
Wow. We have a special guest.
A
It
special
happened.
guest.
Wow.
Special.
We did it.
Wow. I mean, Dan was also a special guest,
Yes, he was, but
Yeah.
he's also our
friend.
friend and editor in chief.
He's in the credits of the podcast as they scroll by because it's mainly Dan.
Oh yeah.
You should link his YouTube. He's got some pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah, it's always in
pieces
the
and
description.
Stuff. It's
Yep.
wonderful.
Yep.
Listened to some the other day.
Yep. He sends me music all the time.
Yeah,
I'm always like, you are
He is
fantastic.
very good.
Like,
Yeah,
talented.
yeah.
Wow.
Please,
it
Dan, please put like an original piece on one of our podcasts one of these times.
Yeah.
Please.
Anytime.
I did enjoy when he was on.
Yes. He
Dan
brings
brings
a
some energy.
Yeah.
He
great
is.
energy.
He is energy.
Yeah.
He's great.
That's his thing.
Yeah, okay, so thank you, Dan, for Daniel Mosionier, everyone, for editing and creating dope music for the intro and the outro of each episode. Thank you to the Creation Nation Makerspace for creating such a cool space where we can make.
Russ, my guy.
Creation Nation?
Yeah. Ross.
Russ.
Russ.
Yeah, it's downtown Brandon, down on Rosser. Come check it out. You get it if you're a student, $25 a month. You get access to an entire studio,
Wow.
where you can do like woodworking, and you can do mug making, and you can do T-shirt making. And, yeah, it's
So
dope.
Or
much
record a
stuff,
podcast.
Or record a podcast. Not when we're here though.
No.
This is our place.
We have it booked.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to yet another episode. Thank you for joining me, Mike. Thank you for joining me, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.
And we will see you all in the next episode.
Farewell.
Bye.